Hey, do you stink? Stop stinking.
Yeah, stinky.
You should get Mando. Steve, can you hold that up for the camera? We got some wipes. We got some full body deodorant. Yeah, that's the pit deodorant, but then the whole body deodorant is this. That's what you see. It's safe anywhere. Pits, balls, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, feet, wherever. And by the way, it's blocks body odor all day and can control odor for up to 72 hours. It was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. And essentially, it's all, what I love about this, baking soda free and paraben free as well, because that's a big thing.
And it wasn't a doctor of thugonomics. They were an actual doctor.
They were an actual doctor who were like, hey.
You can see this doctor.
Yeah. You know what? I bet being a doctor, you run into a lot of smelly patients. It was probably like, we need to stop this because I can't handle this in this office anymore. Too many stinky people. So anyway, if you want to try Mando out, and you should, Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with the solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash or the deodorant wipe. So basically what Steve is showing you there, plus free shipping. As a special offer to our viewers and listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code that equates to over 40% of your starter pack with the code SDPN, shopmando.com. Again, it's shop, SHOPMANDO.com. Shop Mando. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, boost your confidence head to toe with Mando, and use that code SDPN. Let's start the show.
SDPP. The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
Hey, guess what? Happy birthday to Jesse. Happy birthday to Jesse. Happy birthday, dear Jesse. Trying to drown us out. Happy birthday to you.
Jesse.
To Jesse.
Thank you.
Did
you enjoy that?
Are you too?
I did. It was fabulous stuff.
How old are you,
They're
Jesse?
Great singers. I'm 33 years old.
Oh,
Wow.
Old.
Wow. That's crazy.
I know I sound like I'm 12 sometimes, but I'm actually 33.
Wow.
damn. That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
Man, that's so nuts. How does it feel to be that old?
Yeah.
How does it feel to have this beautiful cake?
Justin
Thank you, Justin.
Fisher is in the studio. He's brought a cake.
All right.
Are we allowed
this.
to light candles and have fires on set?
Yes,
Yes.
we are.
We run the place. No rules.
Oh my goodness.
And he brought
Look at
forks
that.
too. I asked
Pass him down.
I asked Jesse's partner, Gabby, yesterday what kind of cake he would like. And she's like, just get him chocolate on chocolate on chocolate.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's what this is. So, Jesse, you got to hold on. You got to
Chocolate
blow
cake.
your candles, sir.
Oops.
You got to
I
blow
know.
your candles,
This
make a
dude's
wish.
cutting into the cake.
What are you nuts?
Never been part of a birthday before?
I was going to wish for a Leaf Stanley Cup run.
No, you don't
But
tell
if
us.
I tell people, then it won't happen. So I'm not wishing for that. I'm wishing for something else.
Yeah. Okay. Right, ready? We have to applaud. Oh my gosh, she's just making it difficult.
Yay!
Longest candle blowout in history.
Nice gentle blowing, Jesse.
Yeah, no,
Woo!
you want to savor the moment. People blow out candles way too quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Savor
All right,
the moment.
Grab-
Cherish your birthday.
Grab a bite. We'll eat the rest of it after the show. Justin's gonna come back and retrieve the.
I took
cake.
the worst bite possible because I only have a fork and not an knife.
All right, tell me how it tastes. Is it good?
Very good.
Okay, there you go.
There's not bad cake.
That's
Steve,
actually-
are you
I
gonna
just
take a
want
bite?
to.
Yeah, I know.
Here,
Have-
can we
have a
do a
piece.
wide shot? Like, look how
That was really
neat
good cake.
is.
Now listen.
It's very decadent.
Here,
Yeah.
get in there.
Listen, I want to tell you, I went to Summerhill Market to get.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen, only the best. Only the best for the SDP.
Let me see if I got a birthday button. No, that's not.
There it is. All right, Justin, you can go ahead and grab this cake, my friend.
Adam,
Thank you so much.
Have a bite.
I'll have a bite after.
I'm
I'll
hav-
have a bite after. Now, I want you
Give me
guys to
that.
know, I did a little research on Jesse Blake, and later on in the show,
Oh, no way.
later on in the show, we're going to play the Jesse Blake birthday newlywed game, where Steve will basically I've got 10 questions.
Nice.
You both are going to be given your whiteboards.
Okay.
And then Jesse's going to answer questions about himself, so this will be easy for you, Jesse.
Right. It's newlywed game.
Steve's going to guess.
Yeah.
And I also have Gabby's answers too.
Oh,
so we can
nice.
compare and contrast and see how well she knows you.
This is fun.
This will be fun. How well does anybody know Jesse Blake? Let's be honest. Now,
Not.
Shoeless Joe's April 12th Saturday night. Tickets are on sale. A bunch sold over the weekend. We announced it once, and when I got the ticket numbers after the show on Monday, I was like, holy smokes. But we have huge capacity. It's a big shoeless Joe's. So
Yes.
if you want to be there, we got room, and we're excited to have you. 250 tickets can be sold to this, so it could be huge. So if you want to go, we want to see you there. It's going to be the last Saturday of the regular season. It's going to be fun. And it's the second back-to-back game that we have, unfortunately, for the Leafs this week. Just ugly scheduling. But it's going to be a blast up at Peterborough, so make sure you're there.
It's also our last chance.
Last chance to what?
We need the Leafs to win a game during a live show.
Oh, that's true. So let's go through that. We had our first 2 live shows in the fall. Leafs lost to the Montreal Canadiens in Game 1. They lost
with a 47 save shutout from Sam Montembeault.
They lost to the Ottawa Senators. I want to say on like a Tuesday.
3-0 shutout at the hands of the
Joe's.
Ottawa Senators. Yes.
And then what were the other ones?
London, they lost 7-4 to Colorado.
Yes.
Are those the only 3?
Stouffville. Well, that was Team Canada.
It was
That was
Canada
49.
won. Canada beat Sweden.
Yeah.
Mitch Marner.
Canada almost lost.
Canada
Marner
beat
was cool. Yeah.
Jesse's team, the Swedes.
No, I was rooting for Canada the whole time.
We've seen Canada win more games than the Leafs.
Yes, one. One is correct.
And so we're crossing our fingers.
You guys also forgot they lost in a shootout in San Jose when we were there.
Right.
Yes.
Man.
I've been to 3 Leaf games this year. 2 of them were losses to the Sharks. Not great.
We saw the Barracuda lose at our live show
by a combined
as well.
score of 10-2.
Yeah.
They lost at our live show that we did the watch party watch along, and then we went to 2 games and they also lost those. And then when the Leafs had left town to go play LA and Anaheim, we became Sharks fans for their Saturday night against the Rangers, and then the Sharks lost that one too.
Yeah.
So
We have only seen losses for the teams we're rooting for.
come to Peterborough where the Leafs will win.
It's a guaranteed loss. It's a guaranteed loss. The
No.
only team that's won for us has been Canada.
You know what? Maybe the real Leafs game were the friends we made along the way.
That was a real
It
shoehorn.
was really good.
Yeah.
You tried
No,
really
it was
hard.
so good.
I respect
I'm
it.
trying to think
really
about
good.
more times we can see the Leafs lose, but I can't think of any more.
Let's
times.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
There's gonna be plenty.
How about they never lose again? Like that Jays sign. The Jays may never lose again. That would be
into
nice. That would be cool if the Jays
Shoresy?
couldn't- Yeah, 100%.
When the Shoresy team,
That was a good strategy.
the Sudbury team, they never lose again.
Yeah.
We'll never lose again.
I think that's the way to do it. Now, breaking news this morning, and I've just sent Jesse the picture. Gabriel Landeskog of the Colorado Avalanche is skating with the AHL Eagles. He's on the ice.
Whoa.
I think he's coming back for the playoffs.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, worst kept secret in all of hockey. Come on now.
And we're all rooting for him because everybody loves Gabriel Landeskog. And if you saw the NHL Faceoff series, you're doubly rooting for him. I also think it's interesting that they are probably going to play the Dallas Stars. And the Dallas Stars.
Wowza!
I'm just gonna send this. Exactly 1 minute to go in the third period. The Dallas Stars were up 5-2 on the absolutely missing the playoffs Vancouver Canucks.
Well, not yet.
What happened though?
The Canucks won. They scored. They scored again with, I want to say, 30 seconds to go.
Yep.
And they scored again with like time to spare.
Yep.
8 seconds to go or so. They tied it up. Like Connor Garland was the only guy who celebrated. Like it was weird. He was like the only one who grasped like, yo, that's actually insane that we did that.
Right.
And then Kiefer Sherwood buried it in overtime.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kiefer Sherwood, by the way, has had 18 goals this year. Who expected that?
Honest to goodness, one of the best signings of the offseason.
Yeah.
He,
like really good.
As soon as the Canucks caught him. I mean, that's part of the reason why I was like, I'm putting all my money in Canucks stock. They're going to do great this year. Oops.
Atu Rati with exactly
Ratu.
Atu Ratu. You know what? They should spell it the same.
Whoa.
Why with a Y?
Whoa.
He scored with exactly a minute to go. Pius Suter with 30 seconds to go, and with 7 seconds to go, Pius Suter again.
Fantasy
By the way,
darling.
Pius Suter, a guy that you should have picked up in fantasy, probably won.
Drew even told me to.
He's like, pick up Hugh Suter.
Yeah, that week when Suter was promoted to the first line, Drew was like, hey, pick him up. And you were like, no, I know better.
I had already picked up his line mates.
Yeah.
Was the problem. I picked up
the wrong
DeBrusk and Besser, and I'm like, well, I'm covered, though.
Yeah.
Nope.
You got the wrong
Was
guy.
not covered at all.
Yeah,
Damn it.
it's gonna be amazing. That, and it's so funny because the only other 3-goal comeback I can think of off the top of my head was, of course, the Leafs against the Columbus Blue Jackets in COVID, in the last minute or something, or the last 5 minutes, whatever it was.
There was a regular season game. A season or 2 seasons after the Leafs blew it against the Bruins. The regular season game, Montreal and the Sens. I don't even remember which team came back. One of them did. And one of them blew it.
Yeah.
And they did it with like 2 minutes to go. 3 goals in 1 minute at the end of a game, unheard of.
Yeah,
It's literally unheard of. It's the first time in NHL history that a team has won a game after trailing by 3 goals with less than a minute to play.
Wow.
if you're a Stars fan this morning, how are you feeling about the fact that Colorado is getting emotional heart and soul captain Gabriel Landeskog back, and you blew that lead?
Brother. That is... Listen, up front, they're stupid stacked.
Yeah.
They're dumb, stupid stacked. On the back end, they have the same problems we've been calling out all year. Pretty much. Your big ad was Cody Ceci.
Grav, friend of the SDPN, Grav said Matt Dumba might be the worst defenseman I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's an
Hey,
exaggeration.
I think he's just a Stars fan who was upset.
Matt Dumba is probably not even the worst defenseman on the Stars.
Right.
Dude, it's
It is
what
a
a
big
weird
difference.
lineup.
It is a big difference from last year, defense to defense. When you look, I mean, they had Chris Tanev in the lineup last year. Just that alone is enormous.
Well, what I talked about with the Stars, if you go and look at the Lightning teams that won the back-to-back cups, especially the COVID bubble one, they had an absolutely unfathomable left side of Hedman, McDonough,
Sergachev.
Sergachev's your third pair D. The right side was a random assortment of men.
Mm-hmm.
You had just post-cooked Luke Shen,
Mm-hmm.
like recent AHL player Luke Shen,
Yep.
Zach Bogosian. I don't even know if Cernak was Cernak.
Jan Ruda?
Jan Ruda was part of that too, but like I don't know if Cernak was even good yet. Ruda was sort of new on the scene. Like I thought, looking at the Stars, okay, as long as you have a really good defenseman on each pair, they can help, sort of mask what's going on the other side. I mean, you have Heiskanen, Harley, and Lindell.
Yep.
That's pretty excellent.
Yep.
To be able to put, if you wanted to, one of those guys on each pair. But oh boy, I think they just took their foot off the gas. They thought it was done because it's never happened before.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is one of those games that damages you psychologically. Like, because there are leads that you have, and when you get down to a certain amount of time left in the game, you become a mathematician. And you're like, okay, well, they got to get a goal every 30 seconds. Well, that's not going to happen. Or they got to get a goal every... And at some point, you, as a fan, you're fine. Take it from me. The Bruins come back in 2013. That damaged me. Like, forever. It made it so that no lead was safe ever again.
And to be fair to you, the Leafs did it again when they were up.
The next year.
Well, they did it... Well, not 2013.
No, they
said
did it
2013.
against Pittsburgh in the regular season the following season.
Oh, I'm talking... Well, who cares about that? I'm talking about the playoffs where the Leafs had a lead going into... Was it not a 4-1 lead going into Game 7 against the Bruins in like 2018? And
no,
they
it
blew
wasn't
it?
4. No, it was 4-3.
4-3.
The Leafs
And they
have
lost 7-4.
3 out of their 4 losses to the Bruins in the playoffs since 2013. They have led in the third period.
That's insane.
But in terms of multi-goal leads, like it just made it so that nothing was safe ever again. Nothing.
Well, it is something that will be interesting to watch with Dallas because as of this morning, if you're a Stars hockey fan and you're seeing Gabriel Landeskog on the ice and you're coming off a loss like that, yes, you should be confident. Jake Ottinger is your goalie. You've got probably the best forward group in the league.
Oh, it's
Deepest?
up there.
Deepest?
Top 5.
Could you call it deepest?
Deepest might be best.
Best, like any, I guess, if the Oilers are healthy, then it's got to be them. But I mean, look at what
That's
Nathan
a
McKinnon's
very
working
large
with.
if right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One last thing I want to say before we get into kind of the longer stories is, Jesse, can we bring up the latest thing I texted you? Now, there are teams that are in the playoffs that are like Dallas, right? That last night, the loss sucks. There are teams that are objectively broken around the NHL.
Okay.
Objectively, like
playoff teams?
No, these are not playoff teams.
Okay.
These teams, and the problem with these teams too is usually they're mid. Usually they're just outside of the playoffs consistently, and you get stuck in that sort of stagnant where we're going to draft 12th, not get a star, but also we can't make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And I think that this year's team, I mean, there's several of them. Buffalo Sabres, I would say. I do not believe in the mirage of the Buffalo Sabres of late.
I think you were advocating for it last episode.
Was I advocating for it? No, I was never a believer in the Buffalo Sabres. No.
Play the clip.
I was not advocating that.
I don't actually.
I don't think the Buffalo
segment on our last show.
I'm pretty sure I was not
I
Buffalo
don't
Sabres.
listen to Adam, man.
But I want to show you this. This is a broken NHL team.
Yo.
This is JT Compher, wide open net. Sam Montembeault is behind it, and JT Compher does not score. Now, if Compher scores, Steve is going to say, if you're a goaltender, 10 the goal.
You don't even need to shoot this. You just need to
skim it,
lob it over the stick of. I can't tell who that player is, but oh my god. I mean, they weren't going to make the playoffs even if he did score this, but they could have pretended. It would have given you a shot, and now it's done. I hope Steve Yzerman is the GM of the Red Wings forever. Not to punish Red Wings fans. I actually like you quite much. Quite much? I like you a lot. But as our teams compete in the same division, nope, I want Yzerman to be the GM of the Detroit Red Wings for the rest of his life.
Well, it's, that's about as ugly as it gets. That is their season. That's their season.
Well, and
they have an opportunity the entire season and they blow it.
Against a team that has, we talked about the Atlantic Division and how there's a new crop, but they haven't been able to get over the hump. Mm-hmm. The Sens have gotten over the hump. They're in the playoffs. And there's Montreal. Montreal hasn't just passed Detroit. They're now with Demidov. Obviously, it's going to take some time, but they're aiming to catch everybody. They're going to be scary. I don't know when. Hopefully, it takes a little while, but right now it looks pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. If you're the Red Wings, how do you catch that? How do you feel good about the Habs and Red Wings? Let's say they both missed the playoffs. That's not going to happen, but they finished within 3 points of each other, whatever. So they're basically the same. Which fan base do you think feels better? Montreal! You have all these murderers and future murderers in your lineup. And then you got, I don't know, Detroit. Meh. They got a few pieces.
Yeah, sure.
That I like. Every team in the league has a few pieces that I like. Lucas Raymond is having one of the biggest wasted seasons in the NHL this season. Dylan Larkin, we all got to see how great he is at the Four Nation Faceoff when he's actually surrounded with talent. Mo Sider's great. I don't know if they ended up signing this goalie out of there was a goalie out of Europe they were rumored to be in on. I'm like, how many farm teams do you have? They're rudderless. They're completely rudderless. And it doesn't help that they haven't been winning the lottery, obviously. Mm-hmm. But you've actually drafted pretty well with a lot of those picks. I don't know if you can blame it on that. That's how you got Lucas Raymond. That's how you got Mo Sider. I think you're just a team that routinely makes mid to shit decisions.
Jesse, is Steve Yzerman there next year?
Yes, Steve Yzerman is there next year because I think our timeline of when Steve Yzerman gains control of this team and the problems it has needs a little bit of jog in our memory because he gets the job in April of 2019. And at that point, the COVID season happens and they get their last, but they don't get the first overall pick or anything like that. But since so we're talking the 20 season that's reignited during COVID, the 21 season, all that. They've been mid during that era. But Steve Yzerman hasn't been able to commit to a direction fully in that time because of the team that he acquired was kind of mid. So he didn't really strip it of its pieces because there's some pieces there. So I was hoping that in the meantime, he was able to pick a direction like, hey, we're going to truly bottom out like Montreal did after they went to the Cup. And then those couple of years, they truly bottom out and now look at where they are. But there was so much kind of there with the Red Wings that he wasn't able to do that. And now I think he gets an opportunity to pick a solid direction here where it's like, are we going to rebuild even further, which I don't think they should do. So you keep kind of adding pieces until you can break through the playoffs.
Ownership doesn't seem to want that too. They want to play.
I think he gets some more time here.
You think so?
Yeah, because what he inherited from Ken Holland was so bad that he wasn't really able to get that direction early on, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like Ken Holland set it up so this team could have just sucked in 21 and 20 when he got it, because they did finish last in the East, I think last overall based on the actual standings. But it's not like he could bottom it out in 21, bottom out in 22, bottom out in 23, because the team wasn't bad enough, but it also wasn't good enough. So he was dealt this awful hand. So despite his really questionable decisions that he's made in the last few years, getting a whole bunch of goalies that are just average and never having a solid goaltender, making the Wallman trade, giving up on players a little too soon, like Wallman, a couple others, and bringing in guys like Justin Hall, who is not proven. There's a lot of questionable decisions, but I think all of that is because he's been trying to maintain this mid-era and just push them slightly over to where Ottawa is. So I think
they're like the mid 2000s Leafs.
Yeah, this offseason and the next offseason, I think he gets a little bit more time there to completely try and okay, these are your last two shots to get them out of that mid tier. And if you can't do it then we got to get somebody else in here who can.
To push back on that, they clearly, Jesse, wanted to win, at least get into the playoffs, right? Because they've never had playoff games at Little Caesars, and they want to make that happen, and it's a great arena and whatever. What I'm curious about, though, is when you have the JT Compher signing, the Justin Hall signing, some of the signings that they've made, that like the 7 goaltenders they showed up to camp in. Obviously, we mentioned that, and then Tarasenko, Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane's worked out. Tarasenko hasn't. It seems
who are both still there.
Yeah, they're both still there. They didn't trade them at the trade deadline. That's the part for me where I'm like, okay, you can, I suppose, get out of this because the cap is going up, right? They're going to have some money.
Oh,
but they've made the decisions that they have made while he's been there doesn't give me a whole ton of confidence. Is that fair?
Yeah, but your question was, is he going to be fired? And I think that's the reasoning as to why they're not going to do it.
Right.
I don't think I'm advocating for the decisions he's made. I'm saying that's probably the logic of the organization to say Yzerman gets another year or two in this running this team.
And the tiebreaker, he's Steve Yzerman.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's name is Brad Glynn Dangle. Oh, well, he's fired.
That was great.
Right.
This guy is named Steve Yzerman. Oh, okay, well, he's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they were on the fence about it, it's a tricky thing, man. Steve Yzerman, when he went to Detroit, felt right. Mm-hmm. This is where he was always meant to be. He did a great job in Tampa, and then he went to another Atlantic team, and I thought, oh, no, this sucks. But, having him around the Red Wings is the way the universe should be. Mm-hmm. And firing him, you risk fracturing that forever.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And a piece of your franchise's identity goes missing when that happens. It's not an apples to apples comparison, but Sundin with the Leafs, Alfredson with the Sens. It's tough.
Yep.
It becomes Hextall with the Flyers, is maybe not necessarily an all-time great, but you know what I mean? Supposedly he had pictures up around the offices, like Ron Hextall, like, you walk around Scotiabank Arena, there's all the Leafs alumni and everything. Apparently the Hextall pictures have been taken down.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So, like, that's tough. Lindros with the Flyers is actually probably better. Took many, many years to fix that. A piece of your franchise is missing. So I think Detroit is well aware of that, and that's why they're maybe kid gloving this, but you need a direction. And
Yeah.
Right now they don't really have one.
That would have been nice to see them pick that direction in the 21-22 seasons, as I was trying to say there. Like, it would have been nice for them to truly bottom out and get some more picks in there, get some more young prospects. But it's not like they don't have a good young core right now with Seider, Larkin, DeBrincat, Raymond, Edvinson, Berggren. Like, there are guys there. They're just missing everything kind of around it, and what Stevie Wise has been trying to plug in there hasn't been the right stuff. Like the Mrazek, Talbot, Lyon trio that they currently have on the roster and still trying to run that out there. Like that's you shouldn't be doing that. That's not great. Your Sherratt signing, Justin Hall, as we've mentioned so many times, and like even the Compher deal where it's like $5 million or something like that for a number more years. It's okay, but like that's not the guy who's helping the team out.
He hasn't done a ton that's like truly bad.
No, outside of Wallman.
Wallman was really bad.
Yeah,
that was really
one.
bad.
did you need to get Jeff Petrie at 37?
No.
Right?
Yeah, no.
really.
Yeah. You're right. And I think the Ben Sherratt trade or signing to me was like, we're going to the playoffs because we need you get Ben Sherratt for the playoffs.
We got a young team trying to establish a culture, all that.
Yeah.
What? That's how they think.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how hockey dudes
Oh
think.
no, I 100% agree.
There's something there.
Yeah.
There's something there. It's the Red Wings in a nutshell. Not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Not good enough either.
Yeah.
But the thing I'll give Yzerman credit for, and like I didn't even mention Casper there, who's 21. He has all these young kids.
He's been good.
He has all these young kids who are prospects who are like, bright futures and everything. And the thing that Buffalo's done is we continue to tank and we continue to get younger and we continue to get these young guys. The credit I think Yzerman deserves is that he's been trying to fill the pieces around that young core with veterans who can get them over the hump.
Right.
And that's the right way to go about things when you think your team is ready. He's probably done it too early in his tenure because I don't think anybody realized how bad Ken Holland left things. So he probably tried to kickstart it too early with the signings in 22 and 23 and the offseason in 24. He's probably going to try and do it again, but maybe this time they'll be a little more ready. And you don't want to be what Buffalo is, where it's just we're young and we got another draft pick and we got another first overall pick and we're throwing them out there with our other first overall picks. And we're just a bunch of children. We don't know how to win.
Yeah.
We are young. That's right. Sorry.
And it's like how many 6 foot million defensemen are you going to draft first overall,
like,
right?
Owen Power, like, oh, bless him. It's not what they needed at the time.
No.
It's funny because, the thing Yzerman has been doing that hasn't worked would legitimately get the Sabres over the top.
Oh, yeah.
Like if they were able to sign like two players of significance.
Yeah, 100%.
On the back end especially. They can score. They're one of the best goal-scoring teams in the NHL.
Tages might hit 50 if he continues being on fire this last
insane.
stretch of the season.
That's insane.
Like,
it should barely count.
If Buffalo...
It doesn't make sense.
If Yzerman ran the Sabres, they'd probably be a playoff team this year.
And like Levi, I know has not been great in the NHL. His AHL numbers are awesome. Like there's reason to. Okay, as long as we're talking, we're in a world where the stock market is insane. What would you rather have stock in right now? The Detroit Red Wings or the Buffalo Sabres?
The Red Wings, because the Sabres are run by a clown car.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the Sabres were not run by the Sabres, my answer would unequivocally be the Sabres.
Yes.
But that's
But
not
they
reality.
are run by the Sabres.
That's not the reality.
Well,
It's a tough choice.
we're going to talk about the New York Rangers a little later in the show, and there's another team where you go, that could be a great team if they were not run by a clown car.
Sell.
Yeah. So okay. So that's it, Jesse. That is the most positive outlook I have heard yet on the Detroit Red Wings. So if you are a Red Wings fan, because they are in the dumps, maybe listen to him a little bit, listen to Jesse, and there are reasons to be hopeful.
I just don't think they're going to fire him. Like, I don't think that family wants to do that. The Illich family wants to fire Steve Yzerman.
And
so you gotta look at what he's doing and move forward with it.
the Red Wings have $22 million to spend this offseason. Marner?
Oh, Marner and Larkin. Markin. That would Markin would be marking their territory. You see?
You see?
Oh, write that headline.
So we got to use our new Monos gear on our way to San Jose and on our way back too. And not only did it carry all of our clothes and all the amazing stuff that we got from the Sharks, they gave us jerseys and people came to our live events and were giving it. So we had to like stuff it in at the last minute. I wasn't expecting all that. It also carried our equipment too. And so I wanted to ask you guys, just because we actually used it, what did you think? Why did you like it? Why was it convenient?
Really underrated part of luggage, smooth wheels.
Oh, yeah, true.
It moved. It was like obviously rock solid, but lightweight. But the wheels.
You like the wheels?
I was motoring through that airport.
Jesse, what about you?
My favorite parts are a little weird. Like, I love the locking mechanism.
Yeah.
They have the TSA locks on the front, and just the way it snaps together is just beautiful. It's so seamless, and it just works. And I don't know, I really like the color I chose. We got the silver for my set, and I think the color looks really sleek and high end. Like, it looks really cool.
One of the things about Monos is they sell directly to consumers like you, so it's accessible pricing without all the extra markups of like going through retail. And Steve, you mentioned the wheels actually working. They only source the best materials and components and have direct relationships with factory partners to ensure high standards of quality are met. And as Jesse mentioned, it's not like a zip around when you close it up. It's just 2 clicks, boom, done. And then locking mechanisms are on there. So you can actually set your own code and only you can open it, which is kind of great because if somebody takes your Monos luggage and it looks like theirs, they're not going to be able to get in, right? It's good. Anyway, it also ships free, which I think you'll love, from the United States and from Canada. And we can give you 15% off your online purchase with the code DANGLE. That's DANGLE at ca.monos.com. 15% off United States and Canada. And obviously, you can buy it online, but there is a Monos store on Ossington, 111 Ossington Avenue here in Toronto. It's already open, so you can go test it out yourself. Check it out. All right, Let's talk a little bit about the Atlantic Division here. Leafs and Panthers last night in the ultimate we're just not going to show up game. Anybody that is making grand proclamations about how the Leafs will do based on this game, I got news for you. This ain't the game to define the Leafs. It's game 77 or 78. I don't even know.
You got to pick your spots.
And you do got to pick your spots. And media, we got to pick our spots too.
Oh, I agree.
And I think
people get confused by the spots I pick. Like sometimes it's early in the season and people are like, dude, what the
because there's legitimate tests and then there's games where you're like, they're probably, I knew, like I said, I remember saying to my wife last night, I'm like, this is not probably going to be a great game. This is going to be a game where they get outshot to hell and they try to squeak a couple goals in and try to sneak away with a win. This is not a all-out game. And you could sense that from both sides.
Yes.
Very little chippiness. A couple of scrums afterwards. These teams could literally play each other in the first round. And you saw it last night. They're all being like, well,
no,
let's not hurt anybody.
No, it's confusing to me because we've seen the Leafs and Panthers play each other in the playoffs. We saw how violent it was. And you saw that game last night and you were like, these are the same.
Exactly.
And it's not.
Now,
it's
beforehand, Barkov, Reinhart, and Forsling all back in the Florida lineup, which, if you're a Leaf fan, you're like, damn. But hey, you also got to play good teams and good players on those teams, so you kind of have to figure that out.
Yep.
The one positive I'd take away, and by the way, I'm not giving the Leafs a pass. It would have been so much easier against Tampa tonight had they won last night.
Oh, totally.
To clinch the division, make it all go away, but they haven't, and it didn't happen. The one good thing I will take away from last night's game is Joseph Woll. When he let in that first goal, people were like, well, he's no Stollers. And maybe not. I have to tell you,
I didn't see it.
This is the guy that got them to Game 7 last year against Boston with nobody in the lineup. No Matthews, no Nylander, right? Matthews is sick. Nylander had the head thing. I don't understand why to make somebody look good, we must denigrate somebody else.
Yes.
We have a fantastic goaltending tandem. And you know what's crazy is Stolarz lets in bad goals too, but he's the newer toy, so people are less likely to dump on him. When it comes to Joseph Woll, this guy has been spectacular. And if we had the same goaltender lineup last year, there'd already be a statue built for Joseph Woll and how great he's been this season.
Here's what we've had in Toronto for as long as I can remember. Good one, bad one.
Yes.
There's who's
we,
playing tonight? Good one or bad one?
When we had good one, we're like, yeah, but it's Curtis McElhinney, so let's give him to the Lightning. That'll go well.
Even good, yeah. Oh Jesus, that was
Garrett Sparks and Calvin Pickard and.
God, that hurt my feelings.
Yeah, keep going.
Anyway, no, it was good one, bad one with a couple blips.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, this guy was pretty good, and this guy was pretty good. Even the year they got Jonathan Bernier and also had James Reimer. James Reimer wasn't as good. And then Bernier was good. And then Reimer got better. And Bernier got significantly worse. And they had like Campbell, Anderson, and maybe it's good one. And Anderson's awful. And
yeah, because he was
Campbell's great. And it's been a very long time since the Leafs have had two goalies this good. I'm struggling to think of when that was ever the case. Like even Belfour, when he was a Leaf, had like a clear-cut backup.
Trevor Kidd.
Michael Telquist. Cujo had like Corey Schwab and Marcel Cousineau and Glenn Healy. And like they had Felix Potvin and Curtis Joseph for 5 minutes. And then they traded Potvin, which at the time makes sense. You get Brian Berard. We all know how that ends. We don't know what to do with ourselves now that there's two good goalies here. And we got to tear one down. And I think it sucks ass. There's no reason to do it. Was it the greatest goal? No.
Yeah, but what came after, guys?
Well, it was a weird situation, first of all. Like, if Tavares was confused by what happened, I'm willing to bet Joseph Woll was too. Like, you know, he's not just a puck-stopping automaton. He's a human who was probably like, what the fuck? Oh, shit. And then all of a sudden you're facing a Gustav Forsling shot. He's one of the best offensive defensemen in the NHL this year. He's unreal. And so, like, Gord Miller's call is how I would have called it. Because he went Gustav Forsling again. Or does it again. Because the last time the Leafs played the Panthers, like last week, when the Leafs won, Forsling scored with a piss missile that you're not stopping. He's got a shot. He's got a really good shot. And then, like you're alluding to, the rest of the way, Woll was probably the best player on the ice.
Jesse, do you worry about, I mean, obviously I think Anthony Stolarz gets the start in the playoffs, but do you worry about either of these guys? If there's things, if there's a list of worries as a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, is goaltending one of them?
Goaltending's not even near close to the top of the list. It's Anthony Stolarz going into game one. I think everybody's decided on that one. And Joseph Woll shouldn't be something you worry about because he was your starter last year in the playoffs and pending injury. Like if he doesn't get injured, he's probably playing that game 7 and maybe they win because Samsonov doesn't allow a bad goal. So like, I don't know, like goaltending all year long has been a great thing for the Leafs. It's been fabulous, and I don't think it's ever been an issue. And the game ended, and Joseph Woll allowed one goal, like because the other one was a mistake by Morgan Riley, and then the other one was an empty net. Yeah. So
it was honest to goodness. I think this is such a coping fan way to look at it, but to me, both goals he allowed were flukes. Like
I don't think fluke is a good way to describe the Forsling goal. Like
odd situations.
He beat him.
Oh, he did beat him, but like that face-off, does not happen. Like the John Tavares situation, that just doesn't happen. So yeah, fluke might not.
You got to be ready as a player on
totally
the ice. Like,
100%.
The game's still going, no matter if you think the ref should have blown the face-off dead or not. Like you're a goaltender and a puck is coming towards you, save the puck.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's fair to criticize him for allowing that goal, but like he allowed one goal. The team scored one goal on the other end. You can't win if you're scoring one goal a night. So I don't like that loss isn't on Joseph Woll. And I think he's been good all season. They know who's number one at Stolarz, but you have a great 1B.
Yes.
Like I don't understand how that's a topic for people. Like people jumped on it really early and then I feel like they didn't want to relinquish it.
No, that's the thing, right? It's like, well, I've said it now, so I can't walk it back.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be a reactionary human being. I'm not saying like, listen, dude.
Yeah.
I'll say shit sometimes, and I go, well, a period later, I'm like, well, I'm glad I didn't tweet that. And I think that's the thing is that the internet's like, well, you said this.
That's me most
I
days.
can change my mind. And I look at Joseph Woll as his season on balance has been spectacular. And knock on wood, guys, he's been healthy. That was the big knock.
Adam.
And the other guy hasn't.
Right. The other guy had to have surgery and was gone for 6 weeks. People forget that. Joseph Woll was the starter for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
6 weeks. This team is fighting for first place.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. And so I think the other thing I want to say is that for Joseph Woll to only allow a goal or 2 goals in 30 shots or 35 or whatever they
It
had.
was 37.
I mean, and how many of those shots were Mitch Marner saving it?
That's fair.
Because he made a couple saves.
That was
but so even if
impressive.
it's 33, let's say, that's about what you expect from a starting goaltender. 33 shots and a couple goals allowed. That's about the best you can expect at the NHL level. I don't know why, as fans, and everybody does this, it ain't just Leaf fans, where it's like, like we always go back to the Vancouver Canucks were so good in 2011, but damn that Mason Raymond.
Oh, I know.
And you're
every
like, why
team
Mason
has
Raymond?
to have
Well, yeah, everybody's
player
gotta.
weak link. We lost because you.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. And that part for me, it's like, I'm not worried about it. Now, in terms of the team game, I can understand why people this morning go, well, the Leafs don't stand a chance against Florida. Yeah, they beat Florida last week, but but a lot of injured players on Florida.
Okay.
Still got to win the game.
You guys don't seem to be taking into consideration that the division is still up for grabs.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
And
Yeah.
2 points last night would have been very important.
Yes,
and the team
I
not
agree.
showing up to get 2 points is a little disappointing.
It is.
I don't think it should just be like, they fucking lost.
Yeah, but I'm not going to define how they'll do on the playoffs based on last night.
Totally. But there's still something on the line in these games.
Yes.
I have a feeling I'm
Yes.
going to make a lot of people upset with tonight's LFR because if the Leafs lose this one and it's the same effort, now I'm going to be pissed.
Sure.
Because to me, you followed up, honestly, one of your most dominant games of the season with that against Florida. I think I'd feel a lot worse about it if I didn't look around the league. You got to look around the league. You got to look at all the other teams. There's a lot of playoff teams that kind of stink right now, or are not playing their best hockey at all. Dude, the Panthers have a losing record in their last 10, and the Leafs are part of that. The Devils lost 7-2 to the last place team in the East last night. The Stars coughed up an uncough-upable lead last night. The Oilers have been pretty mid. There's a bunch of playoff teams who are not playing their best hockey right now.
And you should sort of expect that at this point, right? Like it is that time of year. Although, Jesse, I agree with you.
I do want them to win the damn division.
And Jesse, I agree with you 100%. I think if you go in and you win, if you just get gritty last night, tonight's a whole lot less of a problem.
Yeah.
Right? And I think there was a reason. I know Stolarz had a lot of shots last night, but it felt like, sorry, not last night. I know Stolarz had a lot of starts, but it felt like if the Leafs had really committed to that game, he was going to be the guy that was going to start. And I think it says something that he's starting tonight, Stolarz, rather than last night in Florida, because Tampa is the team that's closest.
I thought that was odd.
And I think that the Leafs probably looked at it and went, let's if we're gonna lose a game, if we're gonna schedule lost this might be the one.
Maybe they have some sort of analytics that say Florida is the better team for Woll to play and Tampa's the better team for Stolarz to play.
Maybe. But I mean, listen, if you want to talk about effort last night, it just wasn't there, right? Like for Nylander and Matthews to go 40 minutes without a scoring chance each, you're not going to win any games.
Yeah, no.
And so and so if you're watching enough Leaf games, if you've watched 20 plus Leaf games, I think you know this season when this team is engaged and when they're not. Last night they were not engaged. The true test about, and you can make your grand proclamations about this tonight, is if they show up.
Yeah.
And I hate saying if, but everybody's got those games.
To me, there's a big difference between bad and invisible.
They were invisible.
They were invisible.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating and you hate it, but like it's less concerning than bad. It's still like, oh, these millionaires they're not trying. But again, like sometimes you hear a player say the quiet part out loud and it changes the way you look at things. When we spoke to Jamal Mayers in San Jose, like I keep bringing that conversation up where he talks about like you cannot floor it for like the final 2-3 weeks of the season. That's just not how the ramp up to the playoffs works. A lot of those Cinderella teams who just squeak into the playoffs, a lot of them fizzle out. I know Florida flies right in the face of that from a couple of years ago, but that is often how it works. Tonight is going to go a long way to reframing how I look at last night.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's fair or the right way to do it, but it just is.
Jesse, for you tonight, what do you need to see?
Well, I look at the standings, and Toronto is 2 points ahead of the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I believe if Tampa wins tonight, they own first place in the division.
Yucky.
Because they would own...
the Leafs have more ROW, though.
RW's regulation wins, I believe, is the first tiebreaker. So if they're all tied in points percentage, which is the actual first tiebreaker, is points percentage. Because if you play a different amount of games and somebody has the same amount of points and you're up in points percentage, that's the first tiebreaker. But RW's is the second tiebreaker. Tampa will have 40 and Toronto will have 39. So Tampa will then own the tiebreak and move into first place. So I think tonight you need to at least get 1 point. I think
look at the goal differential between the Leafs and Lightning.
It's nuts.
Yeah, the Lightning have been underratedly good this year. I think it's been masked by their poor start to this year, but since after their poor start, they've been one of the best offensive teams in the league, and they've been getting great defense as well. And as you can tell by that goal differential of plus 74, it's one of the best in the East. It actually is the best in the East right now.
I'm pretty sure Yanni Gourde, by the way, just to interrupt, has 11 points in 16 games.
Unreal.
Oh, no, he's bad now. Ooh. Watch hockey. Good God. Like,
He's saying that to me.
guys. No, I'm saying that to everybody. What is it with Yanni Gourde? Oh, he's good at the sport he plays.
Oh, do you want the Leafs to go back in time and get him at the trade deadline instead of Scott Laughton?
Listen, I said from the beginning, I am not excited about. I said I was not excited about what Scott Laughton brought. I said it. I meant it. But he's one of our guys now. God damn it! And so he's our guy. That's Scott Laughton is my boy. He's also a good guy.
I like him.
I like him,
and I think he's getting better.
Yes,
and better.
I need him to be.
They just gave up a lot for him, and that's what people are focused on.
And I need him to be good like now because I know he'll be good next year after training camp and stuff. Like I know he will.
People who were on your side, Adam, about like Scott Laughton's probably not the guy for the amount of assets you have to give up. Like they're looking good right now because of where he's playing in the lineup is not what we wanted the Leafs to acquire at the trade deadline. The way the Avs got Brock Nelson, and he's been a point. He hasn't been the best, but he's been a point machine for them. He's put up a decent amount of points. Like, and he's playing that middle, the center line in the line. He's playing in the middle, and you can send him out there at any moment to play center.
Yeah.
You know, and Scott Laughton playing your third line wing isn't what you want to give up for those. Isn't what you want for those assets.
He did cost them Callum Ritchie though.
He did, but who cares?
But who cares?
Who cares?
If they win the cup, who cares?
Who cares?
And they got rid of Middlestad, who did not play well with, like, he's not what the Avs want to play, right? I think Brock Nelson's a lot more of that.
But Callum Ritchie, like, that has no effect on them winning the cup this year.
None.
No effect on them winning the cup probably next year.
Or the next 5, maybe.
You know?
Oh, the Avs?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was like, no, he's going to be a really good player. What are you talking about? Sorry. Sorry.
Listen, even if Callum Ritchie
too busy
is
looking
good,
up Yanni Gourde's stats.
as soon as even if Callum Ritchie is good next year for the Islanders, and I have no doubts about Callum Ritchie, that doesn't stop the Avs from being good. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does.
They have Brock Nelson for now.
Yeah, and they can re-sign him.
Yes,
That's
yes,
what you
yes,
need.
yes.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole goal of this thing. It's not to play your magic beans and hopefully Callum Ritchie helps you next season.
Yeah.
Like you have Brock Nelson right now and he's being useful in the middle of their lineup, and you can't say that about Scott Laughton right now because he plays wing.
Now,
Wing on Domi's line.
I want to say, though, and I keep saying this, and I know nobody wants to hear it, it's the best hockey I've seen Domi play this year between Laughton and Yarncroke. I think they are a very good, serviceable third line. Am I expecting big-time goals out of them? Occasionally. Like, I'd like a goal once in a while. I know Yarncroke is still If he plays a full season, that guy's a 15-goal guy.
Yep.
He is. Domi is a 10-goal guy. Lawton is probably a 12-goal guy.
Assists.
Yeah, Domi's up. And that's the thing, right? Like, Yarncroke can finish a little bit. Lawton can finish a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Domi's got great vision. He made a crazy pass. I don't know. It was a nothing play, but it was at the end of a power play, I think in the second period or whatever it was, and he saucered it over to Morgan Riley. And I was sitting in my living room going, holy shit.
Oh,
There's
I know.
not a lot of guys that can do that. As long as he doesn't have to be the defense part of it.
Yes.
Set him up to
Although he's
60.
been better at that.
He has.
I
it
think
helps when the other guys are really good at it.
I think they have the line right.
I agree.
I think
I
they
agree.
got the positions wrong.
So you would put Domi on the wing, Lawton at center, or Yarncroke at center?
I would do Lawton in the middle, Domi on the right, Yarncroke on the left.
I like that.
Domi's best hockey last year, anyway, as a Leaf, was right wing. Yarncroke has played very good hockey on the left wing, and Lawton's a center.
Now, I can completely understand people when they go, hey, gave up Grabankin and a first for this guy, okay? But you also got salary retained, and he signed through next season.
Yeah.
At $1.5 million, which is literally nothing. That's crazy. And, you know, I can understand people's impatience when you say, well, you have to give it time. There's no time. There is no time.
You don't have the time.
Yeah, simply there is no time.
Yeah.
So I get that part too. I totally understand it. I just don't know what you can do about it. You can't just be like, you know what? I'm going to give him a power boost. It's not a video game. You gotta, and he's already sort of acclimatizing to the dressing room. Apparently, he's already like the dressing room DJ.
Great.
This full vibes guy. Everybody loves Scott Lawton.
Great.
It is gonna be time, and that really friggin' sucks. But that's what it's gonna take, and hopefully, he comes alive in the way that they need him to in the first round. This episode is brought to you in part by BetterHelp. Now, listen. If you want to go to betterhelp.com/STP, we want to get you on your way to being your best self. And this time of year, there are a lot of emotional ups and downs, especially as a hockey fan.
Yes.
It helps to have a community. Sometimes it helps to have a community, though, that doesn't necessarily have like a direct stake in your life and maybe went to school for this.
Got it.
You know?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
So when you're going through the emotional highs and lows of life, perhaps it is your team, perhaps it is your personal life team inflicting those highs and those lows on you. You might want to consider therapy. And it's helpful, man. I'll tell you. And the great thing about BetterHelp is it is fully online. It makes it affordable. It makes it convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties. This time of year, it could be the highest highs and the lowest lows. Right, Steve?
Yeah.
Steve, Jesse, you feel all those emotions. You don't show them in the way that Steve and I do, I think, right?
Yeah.
Is that
but
fair?
That doesn't mean you don't need therapy.
That's right.
Everybody can use some therapy.
So if your favorite team puts you in the sads, make sure you check out BetterHelp, okay? BetterHelp.com/STP. Get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/STP.
Can I bring up this graphic I saw, I think it was yesterday, when they posted this on the Slapshot Instagram account, just to illustrate what we're talking about here about Brock Nelson and the Avs acquiring him. And if you go down the list of other guys acquired during the season, it's Marty Nietzsche, and if you want to talk about Yanni Gard. So Slapshot put out this graphic that's traded player point per game leaders. So the guys who are acquired midseason and where they rank on points per game. JT Miller's number 1. He's 27 points in 27 games. Marty Nietzsche is number 2, 26 points in 27 games. Mikko Rantanen with an asterisk is 14 points in 15 games for the Stars. Brock Nelson is number 4 with 11 points in 15 games. Granlund 18 and 26, and then at number 6, Yanni Gord at 11 points in 16 games.
Tied for 5th, actually.
Tied for 5th. Yes. Yeah, you are correct. Yeah. Tied for 5th with Granlund at 11 points in 16 games. That's 0.69 points per game.
That's crazy. You know what I want to say? Chris McFarland is going to be general manager of the year.
Booger.
Yeah, Bug. Or Christmas. Dude, sorry, the race is over. They've remade the entire team at a point in the season where they keep telling us as Leaf fans, you can't make trades. They had 2 goalies before Christmas. They've revamped that lineup. They started the season with like 7 of their starters injured. Chris McFarland is the Lou Lamoriello general manager of the year. Isn't it named after Lou? Isn't that general manager award named after
don't
him?
know.
It doesn't matter. He is. And I know the old adage, general manager of the year is the Stanley Cup winner. I get it. But they do have an award, and this guy is going to win it. If you give it to anyone else, I'm sorry, the award doesn't matter. This is the best general manager this year. What the Avs have done is the best improvement we've seen. They've remade the DNA of that franchise. It's unbelievable. The Nietzsche's thing is fucking crazy. That's crazy.
Well, and I gotta say, Jesse, if you scroll down just a teeny bit, like, oh, Carolina, they're so stupid. Oh, the two players at the bottom of the list are Hurricanes.
Oh yeah, hey, I'm not hating on the Hurricanes.
No, I know. Well, I was a little bit. Hall's been pretty good. Not like we got to adjust our expectations for Taylor Hall. He's not the first overall pick guy that was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
He's a very
Not hard guy that he was 7 years ago.
Oh my God, he's a very adequate middle six defensive or offensive performer. Mark Jankowski's been truly special. Stankoven's been pretty good too. There's a world where the Hurricanes make us all look really stupid.
Well, I mean, listen, them against what did the New
It's
Jersey
them
Devils?
and the Devils probably.
The Devils lost
7-2
7-2 to the Bruins.
last night.
I feel like, listen, it might be too early to do our bracket challenge, which is coming, by the way. And there will be prizes this year. Really good ones. But if I'm picking a sweep in the first round.
I don't know about sweep. I think
If you have to pick one that's going to be a sweep, it's got to be that one. I wouldn't even, the Caps Canadians all of a sudden is just like, it's not only is it interesting, it's fiery and exciting. The Devils, unfortunately, because of injuries, it's like they're still in it sometimes.
I was thinking this just last night. If we had to pick our cup picks for next year, the Devils would be in my top 5.
Absolutely.
But this year,
it's like
I mean, you're missing Jack Hughes. What are you supposed to do?
If the Leafs lost William Nylander tomorrow,
I would start prepping for the draft.
yeah, yeah,
Like, I would make sure I know who all the prospects are.
yeah, 100%. Now,
Adam, can I do a little thing on the Avalanche just to back up your point?
Please.
And McFarland, because sometimes ownership really matters in pro sports, and you see it with teams that are willing to go all out and spend money and all.
it always matters.
It comes down from the ownership, and it goes down through the ethos of the franchise. And the Colorado Avalanche are owned by Stan Kroenke. And Stan Kroenke is somebody who's been in my life for a long time because I was a St. Louis Rams fan. He owned the Rams. He didn't get what he wanted from the city of St. Louis, so he took the Rams and he moved them over to Los Angeles, where he built a brand new stadium and everything. And what Stan Kroenke
Won a Super Bowl.
Won a Super Bowl in LA. Yeah, it's not my Super Bowl. I'm a St. Louis fan. But whatever. He did his thing. And that's a large part of what I'm getting to here is that Super Bowl that he won for the Rams, because it was a Super Bowl where he completely leveraged the future. He went all out for it. They're the first team to ever win a Super Bowl at home in their own stadium. Nobody had ever done that before because they're hosting, and they also won it. And Stan Kroenke, throughout his entire career, has done stuff like this with his franchises where he rebuilt the goaltending. First ever team to get 2 starting goaltenders at that point of the year. He's going out. He's trading Rantanen at that point in the season. And that comes from him. And yesterday, the Denver Nuggets fired their general manager and head coach with, I think, 4 games left in the season.
Which is crazy.
Stan Kroenke owns the Denver Nuggets. There's a team who is 4th in the Western Conference, has the best player in the NBA, if it's either Jokic or Shea, Gilgeous-Alexander, whoever you want to debate between that. And they fire their general manager and head coach with days remaining in the season. And his son runs the Nuggets because, of course, nepotism. And his son held a press conference. He said, we knew this team wasn't going to win a championship this year with the head coach and general manager in place. So we said, why not try something and give them a shot?
Head coach and GM who they won with.
Who they won a title with.
2 years ago, right?
3 years
ago?
maybe? 22 title?
Yeah.
22
I don't know.
titles. So 3 years now. They won with this head coach and GM, and they said, we saw with this entire season play out, why not just try something right now with the best player in the league on our team, get in a new head coach? And that's the same guy who owns the team, who traded Mikko Rantanen. That's the same guy who said, I'm going to take my team and move them from St. Louis to Los Angeles and then win the Super Bowl. And that sort of stuff wins you championships and makes your team good.
Yep.
And that's coming from the owner straight downwards to the general manager who's making those decisions. And if you're criticizing your pro sports teams, maybe it's not the general manager who's making those trades. Maybe it's the Illich family in Yzerman's ear who's saying, you can't tear this thing down. Go out and get a guy like Jeff Petrie to keep this thing afloat. Maybe
100%.
you need more Stan Kroenke's running your team who can then give Chris McFarland the leeway to trade Mikko Rantanen overnight out of the blue and just say, we're going for this thing. And when you look at your team, the ownership really matters.
For what it is worth, in Detroit, I have heard from multiple people who are connected, who have said the Illich family have pushed the Yzerman administration, I'll call them, to get them into the playoffs. They don't care where, they want home playoff revenue. And that started 2 seasons ago, and isn't that interesting? That's when they started signing guys like Compher and Justin Hall and all those things. And it has not worked out for them. And I think, Jesse, you make a really, really good point. Now, interestingly, today in the Toronto Sun, there was an article about Ed Rogers. And, well, there's an article about Mark Shapiro. Obviously, if you're not a Toronto baseball fan, maybe you're not paying attention. Vladdy Jr. signed a 15-year contract, $500 million or
Not
14
signed yet.
Not signed yet.
Like, I've been waiting for them to do the damn physical or whatever they're waiting for and sign the contract.
Is Vladdy on a plane right now?
Yeah. Is Vladdy in the room with you? Are there doctors nearby? But yeah, Mark Shapiro was talking about Ed Rogers. And Ed Rogers owns the Blue Jays flat out. He now owns 75% of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment.
That deal closes in a year?
I think so. Well, no, I think that the Bell deal closed, but then Larry Tannenbaum's 20% comes up in 2026.
Right.
And the question will be, will Ed buy that, or will he let some outside? Because in the NHL, and I think the NBA too, you're only allowed, I think it's 5 or 10% private equity. So because private equity is not great for franchises, as we've seen. And so I don't know if it's going to be a pension fund, private equity, or Ed Rogers, but somebody's going to buy it. And Ed at this point has controlling shares in both. So whatever anybody wants to do, it's Ed's call. They'll be like, hey, Ed, what do you think about? Nope, don't give a shit. Now, what Mark Shapiro says is that all Ed Rogers talks about is rinks. He's like, I'm not interested in just winning. I want to win championships. It's part of what he believes his legacy is for being somebody in a privileged position. I want to bring the city championships. So I know that there are going to be a lot of eyebrows raised based on how the Jays have been run, right? But it's interesting because I'm sure the Illich family would say the same thing. I'm sure the Kroenke family would say the same thing. I know that the Jacobs family that owns the Bruins says the same thing. James Dolan would tell you the same thing. Mm-hmm. But there are ways to approach it that are successful, Kroenkes, right? Mm-hmm. And then there are ways to approach it that are not, Dolan. And we'll see what happens.
Can I just tell you that means nothing to me?
Of course. It's hey, he's pumping the tires of his boss.
Nothing to me. Well, yeah, it's not that it's Ed Rogers. It's Mark Shapiro pumping the tires of his boss. I want you to show me the owner here. Listen. I have a vision for this franchise.
Oh, yeah. You're getting real close.
Yeah. I have a
Get into Jesse's shot. Get into Jesse's shot. It's his birthday. Cuddle up.
Birthday boy. I got a vision. We're going to do so much fucking losing. We're going to lose so much. We're not even, don't even think that we're going to even sort of sniff winning. You won't even be able to, if you were standing downwind, you wouldn't be able to sniff win.
The Pirates, that's the Pirates.
Yeah, no.
They had 9,000 people last night.
They suck a lot.
Well,
didn't they like throw out part of their building that had like memorials to people?
Yeah, they had to, there was like a whole bricks situation.
You're talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates?
Yeah. Just awful. Just awful. It's not
there others?
The only reason you go to a Pirates
for
game,
the
the only reason you go to a Pirates game at this point is because it's a beautiful stadium outside. You're not going to see, or you're a traveling person and like, hey, I'm a Jays fan and I'm in Pittsburgh. Like, I'll go see the Jays.
Or to see Skeens pitch.
Yeah,
like
Skeens is pretty sweet.
Incredible. And to hopefully get a glimpse of Livy Dunn.
There you go. Skeens is going to be a Met in no time. Like, it's crazy. As soon as he's a free agent, goodbye.
Yeah.
So I just assume everyone's going to be a Yankee at some point.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for
not
my contract.
Now,
also, Stan Kroenke owns Arsenal. I'm not a soccer fan. I don't know how Arsenal's doing, but yeah.
They had a pretty damn good run.
Are they good?
Yeah,
hold on,
they're
They won 3-0 yesterday against Madrid.
Are you a
Kroenke.
Gunners fan there, Maddie?
Sometimes I just know random things. I don't know why, but yeah.
I feel that. I get that.
all the EPL fans are like, that's not random. That's a religion. I do want to say, the Lightning beat the Rangers 5-1. We're gonna have more on that in a second. This is earlier this week. The Lightning play the Leafs at home tonight. The Leafs notably on the second half of a back-to-back with travel. They also play the Red Wings Friday, which is pretty sweet for the Lightning. That's a good little
The Lightning,
one.
by the way, for tonight's Leaf game, have lost 8 games in regulation at home.
Yeah, ever.
All season.
Yeah, all season.
Ever.
The Panthers will play the Red Wings Thursday. So that means Tampa is getting Toronto and Detroit on the second half of a back-to-back after a Florida Panthers game this week, which is pretty sweet scheduling. They also get to play, the Panthers do, the Sabres on Saturday. So Sam Bennett, by the way, is going to be out for the rest of the regular season, but
That
whatever.
sounds so much worse than it is.
He'll be fine. The Senators, I just want to say big congrats on making the playoffs. That was a really, really long run, and I am thrilled for Senators fans. They're pumped. They're playing the Canadiens Friday, which will be fun. Flyers on Sunday. And by the way, Senators are making it interesting. They could get into that third spot. The points are Toronto 98, Tampa 96, Panthers 94, and Senators 92, I believe.
It's part of the reason.
Nope.
Senators have 90 points.
They have 90. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, still.
It's part of the reason I'm not all that worked up about. I want the Leafs to win the division, but they're playing one of Florida or Ottawa.
Yeah.
It's happening, and they also don't. There's not much they can do to control it either.
Well, yeah,
you're playing
they can win
one
the
of-
division, and it's still,
and they're very likely going to have home ice. They could still screw that up, and I would be mad about that. But as long as they get home ice against one of those teams, I don't know. You kind of figure out the rest later.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Jesse, I'm going to send you something.
Okay.
A lot of visuals in today's episode. I love New York sports. I love New York reactions to sports, right? And I love New York sports not because I cheer for the teams. I vehemently cheer against all of them, right? But there is something about the way that New Yorkers communicate that they're pissed off with their teams. That just make and I think it's because New Yorkers are. I mean, New York is even say New Yorker. It's like, which part of New York are you talking about, right? Is it Yonkers? Is it the Bronx? Is it where are we? Is it Manhattan Island? Where are we?
What about Broncos?
Broncos, it's true. But I just love that this made it into a real life actual newspaper. The headline is "Pee-pee in the toilet" because the power play stinks. And by the way, I believe this was done before the Rangers lost to the Lightning 5-1. I believe.
By Andrew Crane.
Yeah, it says Monday, April 7th on the paper.
Yeah. So this is before they lose 5-1.
No.
This is the New York Post, and you would expect this from the New York Post. They do have a sense of humor. Now, there is a
Awesome.
There is a quote that I think you guys would find interesting. And Jesse, I'm sorry, I'm sending you the wrong link here. There's a video for this, but we can play this. Actually, we can't play it on thing because there is some ice footage. But the quote that after the Tampa Bay game went absolutely crazy viral was Peter Laviolette. They said, "What's the message to the locker room after a game like this?" And Lav said this: "I don't have a message right now. I don't go into the locker room after the game." And people lost it. You're talking about even Barstool's posting about it. And I asked Frank Corrado about this because I'm like, wow, we don't play. Is this normal? And here's what Frank said. Yeah, it's totally normal. He said some coaches go in only after wins and shake hands with everybody. So some go in after every game. Some don't go in at all, and they wait to talk to the team the next day in a video session. Oh. So when you see that quote, don't lose your mind about that. Though I did ask a couple other people about just Laviolette in general. And one person said he's gonzo. Yeah. And another person described him to me as a 3-year coach max, in some cases 2. And it sounds like he is going to be a 2-year coach here.
Yeah.
So whether or not he's going into the locker room after the game, I think we missed the point. I think he's done.
It's funny because when I want to say it was when the Rangers were pursuing him, I talked about how fans were talking about him like he's just a bad coach. And if you go and look at his history, he's actually done quite well.
Absolutely.
There are some markets that are like, well, he didn't do well here, and that's why we hate him. And that's valid. That's fair. It's super duper duper not working. And that locker room's been toxic for more games this season than it hasn't. It really
it started in June last year with how they treated Barclay Goodrow.
I really thought they righted the ship, but
I got some stats for you guys. Jesse, are you pulling something up?
No, go ahead.
Okay, I got some stats for you guys that I think you'll be really interested in. Comparisons to last year, because the Rangers won. Guys, you got to remember, the Rangers won the President's Trophy last year. They had the most points in hockey. I think they edged out the Stars by a point. It's like 114 to 113. It was real close, but they won it.
Yep.
And so the Rangers had 114 points last year. At this point this year, a few games left to play, they have 79. So currently they are 21st compared to last year at this time where they were hovering around first. In goals, they went from 6th in total goals last year to 17th this year so far.
Mid.
Goals against, 7th last year, 19th this year.
On the lower side of mid.
Power play, PP in the toilet, 4th last year,
Very good.
27th this year.
That is, they wish they were mid.
Shorthanded, 3rd last year,
Unbelievable.
11th this year.
Did they have an assistant coaching change?
I don't know. It's a good question. Shesterkin, notably, went at a 913 last year, 903 this year. I wouldn't put that all on him, but I would say, like, of all the Rangers' problems, it ain't him. Panarin, 120 points in 82 games last year, 83 and 75 this year. That's a lot of scoring that's just not been made up for. Alexis Lafreniere, 16 goals this year, 28 last year.
Good.
That is a significant drop-off, and we're talking about 57 versus 43 points.
What a disappointment, man. I was so bullish on him.
Adam Fox, 73 points in 72 games last year. He is 56 and 69 this year. Chris Kreider this fall-off's insane.
Well, his back's messed up.
75 points last year.
Yeah.
25 to this point.
Just wild.
And DJ Zbad, who we love, 52 points in 77. He had 72 and 81 last year. Sounds like the Rangers need to score some points. And by the way, Jesse, on your Slapshot graphic, who was at the top of players who got traded and scored the most points?
JT Miller.
How many points?
I think it's 26 and 26.
Yeah. Guy's a point-a-game player.
Can I offer a suggestion? What was that shorthanded stat?
They went from 3rd, I believe, to 11th.
3rd to 11th. Oh, I thought they had a bigger drop off than that.
No, the power play was 4th to 27th. Still, 3rd to 11th ain't great, man.
I was looking at shorthanded time on ice from last season. Number 1 is Ryan Lindgren, who's no longer there. Number 2 is Jacob Trouba, who's no longer there. Number 3 is Barclay Goodrow, who's no longer there. The power play is the one. I mean, they don't score. It's a team that used to score a lot. They don't score.
Mm-hmm. Chris Kreider is going to be gone, right? Like, that's it. It's that relationship's over.
Yeah.
Larry Brooks is even writing about that.
I think, like, he doesn't have to be done, like, his NHL career, I mean. Like,
no. He's a perfect Detroit Red Wing.
There are some people who are listening to the show right now who are not going to know. They're going to be surprised by the words coming out of my mouth. Corey Perry won the Hart Trophy. Like, there are some people who are too young to remember that. Corey Perry's had, like, 2 careers.
Like Luke Shen.
Yeah. Maybe this is the beginning of Chris Kreider's second career. Like, he was an elite player. He's got this back injury now. He's done being elite, but I could see Chris Kreider being a very good bottom 6 player after a summer of fixing his shit.
He still has 20 goals, but only 5 assists. And I look at
that matters.
I look at Kreider on as an interesting piece because I think you're right. Like, the Leafs have Nick Robertson playing 4th or 3rd line depending upon the day.
Usually 4th these days.
And Jesse, you've said, listen, if he's not scoring, it's tough, right? Because you need to have him scoring to have him in.
Yeah, that's why he's in there. He's in there to score goals.
If you
like
had
Fish and Shorzy.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoa.
The idea that let's say a team like Toronto. I'm not saying Chris Kreider's coming to Toronto, but if you have a guy like that, or like a Corey Perry, or whatever, the Oilers with a Chris Kreider, the Avalanche with a Chris Kreider, those types of guys, playoff performing guys.
Yep.
Who are probably, hey, I need you to play 13 minutes a night during the regular season, 11 minutes a night during the regular season. I need you to put 15 goals in the net, and then I need you to be an absolute animal off your head come first round. That's a guy that I think will have a ton of value. But they didn't make that trade this year, I think, because, the injury is a big problem. And that's going to be the question, is if they do trade him this summer, it makes sense that he goes to a playoff team. I think he's got one more year left, right?
That I don't know.
I can look that up.
Surely someone would have. Well, this is the thing. Like, man, there's no way to mask a back.
No, actually, you know what? So here's the problem. 2 more years after this one, it's 6.5.
Aye.
So you better retain. That's tough. That's tough.
Or you take a player who is good. He's good. And you try to fix him.
How many teams have $6.5 million to wing?
Not a ton.
Even with a rising cap.
Yeah. It's I'm trying to,
and not a center.
I think this is a decent comparable. Remember when Dustin Brown was cooked?
Yep.
Cooked.
They sent him down.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they sent him down for a bit. Yeah.
But he was there's some similarities in their game. Mm-hmm. And he was done. And we were talking about like who could trade for him, who could the best path forward for the Kings was to fix him, was to figure him out somehow. Mm-hmm. And they did to like a pretty decent degree.
Yep.
For a while there.
Like his last few seasons, 35, 31, and 28 points in about 50, 60 games each season.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
For a guy that's broken.
That's not unplayable.
They didn't send him down. I was wrong. But they did hold him out.
Is it a good use of money? No. But we're past that.
Right.
It's to me, it's not about making Chris Kreider worth $6.5 million. It's about making him a really good contributor who you want in the lineup every night. Right? Like, with a good summer, can you make him a $4 million player? Mm-hmm. Can you make him a $3.5 million player? I mean, this guy, he's been such a good soldier for the Rangers for so long. Like, I don't think you can just throw him out with the bathwater.
Jesse, do you give them one more year with this group?
I don't give them one more year with Kreider. Like, Kreider, I think you trade for a bag of pucks. I'm completely opposite side of you, Steve. I think you get rid of Kreider.
I get it.
If they had the chance to trade him in season this year, I think they would have because of the amount of people they've sent out. But he was too broken for the entire winter, where his back doesn't work anymore, and he came back and it's not been great. So I don't think they could trade him, and I think this offseason they'll find a way to move that 6.5 over the next 2 years. And the New York Rangers, like the mentality for them needs a change, because the thing that I think went most wrong for them is, one, the power play thing I think is most important, like in terms of just scoring. When you go from first in the league in 23-24 to near the bottom, that's disastrous. You can't make that up in any way. But they have no pushback and no fortitude to get things done when things go wrong. They 23 times this season, they've allowed 2 goals in a 2-minute span. Oh. That's, I think,
that's a killer.
30th in the league.
How many?
23 times this season.
They've allowed 2 goals in a 2-minute span.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
When things go wrong with the Rangers this season, they go really bad. And I'm not talking about like just the narrative around the team and all the trades and everything that happened off the ice. I'm talking literally on the ice. And it happened in the Tampa game where they lost 5-1. It was in a short stretch. A bunch of goals were scored, and consistently, game after game after game, when you think they're in a game, suddenly they're down by 3 goals because they allow a big chunk of goals in a short amount of time. And all season long, it's been that problem. It happened during that 5-13 stretch they had in the earlier in the season, where goals just keep coming in waves, and then eventually they get back into the game and everything settles. But they've already allowed 3 goals. How are you getting back into this? And I don't know how much of that is on coaching. because Peter Laviolette's gone. Like
Yep.
we all, I think we all can come to grips with that he's going to be out the door come the end of the season. So I don't know how much of that you solve with coaching, or if that's the personnel you have there and the defense, who's not very good right now, and if they just allow things to happen. But they need a complete overhaul in their mentality on the ice of not allowing bad things to continually happen when bad things happen.
Does it not feel a little like when the Leafs fired Mike Babcock? You know, you have a tough guy coach, right? There are tough guy coaches. Your Torts, your Babs, your Laviolette's one of those guys. Does it not feel like they need what Sheldon Keefe was? It's like, yeah, guys, you know what? Every day's a birthday party. Hey, it's okay. No. People screw up, and we're going to be fine. Because these guys, the reason, bear with me.
Okay, no, I understand.
Like a Bruce Boudreau, like I just want to pinch his cheeks.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is these guys are all vets. You don't need an X's and O's coach with the New York Rangers. If you need an X's and O's coach with this group, then you should trade everybody now. They're all in their 30s.
Yeah.
If you keep this talent, they are talented.
That's the way they used to describe Pat Quinn. He wasn't X's and O's. He was
just motivation.
He rallied you. Yeah, motivator.
And so if you could, I don't know who's available in the market offhand who would be that, but like if you're thinking, oh, Torts will return to the New York, I don't think these guys need to be kicked anymore. I think management kicked them enough. I think you need somebody in there who's going to raise some spirits and get some confidence and some mojo and have loud music playing after the game. And we're in New York.
Just a vibes guy.
Yeah, we play for the Rangers,
You
man.
think James Dolan's getting vibes guy?
I don't know, but I feel like that's what they need.
I've fired all the assistants too, and I have hired my band, and we're going to coach the team. Come on, guys.
Anyway,
you can do
here's
it.
Wonderwall.
Yeah.
Especially with a guy like JT Miller in the locker room.
Yeah.
You don't need another hard ass as head coach. Yeah. That dude is going to get everybody up to play and get ready to play. Like, I don't think you need another guy behind him also being a hard ass.
Well, and the problem with the birthday party coach is they can get walked all over sometimes. Now, I think that a birthday party coach, I think, can work with a young team. Sheldon Keefe works with the Devils. I'll still stand by that. The Rangers will just, can you imagine JT Miller with that?
If JT Miller's happy, he's happy, right?
I think
You need JT Miller happy.
JT Miller is happiest when he's angriest.
Exactly. But he's at least in a good move that's like positive anger, you know? It's like, we got to win this game
directed.
kind of anger. Yeah. I don't know. Birthday party coach is an interesting philosophy for them.
BPC?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the Rangers BPC?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be Boudreau, but I'm just thinking he's the guy that he embodies that the most, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to be all fun and games, but if JT Miller is at his best, the Rangers are going to do well, and JT Miller's going to be mad anyway. It's either at himself, at his team, or at the other team.
Yeah.
The way that you galvanize him and push that anger towards the other team is you make him love the guys that he's with. And he probably already does. I mean, he's roommates with Vinny Trocheck. They're best friends going back years. So that's a good start. How do we bring everybody else along?
Yeah. And like you said, you have Trocheck, Zibanejad, Fox, Panarin, and JT Miller. Those five guys, you don't need to teach how to play hockey.
Yep.
We don't need to revamp what you're doing. It's just, let's get the headspace for everybody.
And I think the Will Borgen move was great, by the way. I thought it was a great move.
The joker that I'm going to throw down on the conversation is they pay the best goalie in the world like the best goalie in the world, and he's not the best goalie in the world.
They need Igor to be Igor. It's so true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they won games last year.
Yeah.
We keep going, they won the President's Trophy. They went 3 rounds deep. Okay, well, I watched those rounds. They beat Washington because they friggin' should have. Carolina should have beaten them.
No.
Oh, yeah.
They're up 3-0. What do you mean should have?
Well, Carolina has just a knack for looking like the better team in games they lose.
Exactly. I think that's a Carolina problem.
And
What a weird niche.
Playoff Carolina problem.
Yeah.
Just such a weird niche.
They got swept a few years ago. It feels like we didn't lose a game.
Just what a weird niche. But then the Panthers killed them.
Yeah, that's
They
what
were
I mean.
up 2-1 in that series. They didn't look very good, though. And, they killed them.
And just the stat about multiple goals in the span of 2 minutes, 23 times this season. Peter Baugh had that stat in The Athletic. They're tied with the Sabres and Ducks.
Those are good.
For doing that 23 times this year.
For the Ducks, that's an improvement.
Probably.
It wasn't over 30 games. So, Flames and Wild playoff chase could be on. The Flames beat the Sharks 3-2 on Monday night. They play Anaheim tonight. They should win that game.
Should.
And then if they do, that could put them within 2 points of the Wild. The two teams then face each other on Friday, which if Calgary wins tonight, you cannot miss that game on Friday. That game is going to be bonkers. Zane Parekh has been called up. It'll be cool for him to get experience of a must-win game against the Ducks, but a lot of people are questioning that.
That's fascinating. Well, the Flames' right side is, and I don't know if any of these guys are hurt, but they have Uyghur, who I think can play both, Rasmus Anderson, Miramanov, and Pakal. Mm-hmm. If Parekh can step in and help them.
And be just one of the guys. That's all he needs to be.
It's also a miracle they have him.
Yes.
He's a defenseman who I believe had 9 points in 5 games in the OHL playoffs, and his team still lost. He had, I just talked about him in Oh Wow the other day. So off the top of my head, I believe it was 32 goals as a defenseman again, and 107 points.
Yeah, it's cool.
Holy shit.
Hey, speaking of the OHL, we're going to be, all three of us, I think, at various times are going to be joining the OHL for their draft stream, which is pretty cool.
That's right.
What's that? Yeah, that'll be fun. So that will be, that's this Saturday, right?
Yeah,
that's this Saturday.
Yeah.
Before our Shoeless Joe's appearance. So I'm very excited. Thank you to the OHL for letting us join. Now, I want to mention this for the Wild. The Wild play the Sharks tonight. Remember, the Sharks lost to the Flames. Their OT win, the Wild, against Dallas on Sunday, because Dallas had a couple losses they probably shouldn't have had this week, could be the thing that saves their entire season. That 2 points, rather than just a 1 point, crazy. Now, I want to go back in time. On January 1st, the Wild were only 5 points behind the Jets for first in the division. On February 1st, they were only a point behind Dallas for second in the division, and on March 1st, they were still up on the Colorado Avalanche.
Wow.
It's all down to injuries.
Yes.
It's all down to injuries, but it is kind of making things interesting in a race that we guys, like last week, we thought this race was over.
Mm-hmm. The Flames got a serious shot here if they can win tonight and then win Friday. But tonight against the Sharks, we're talking about injuries. Kaprizov is back.
Whoa!
Who hasn't played since early December.
Yep.
Because, he got that injury late December. Oh, sorry, early January. Because he got the injury late December, and then he played a little in early January, and then he had the surgery, and that's kept him out all this time. So he's back tonight. And Joel Eriksson-Ek
is back.
Who is back, who is out since the first game post Four Nations.
Where he was very good.
And so then now he's returning as well. And this whole thing, like you said, Adam, has been down to injuries. How do you expect to win games when you don't have those two players?
Yeah.
23 goals, 29 assists, 52 points in just 37 games.
And let us not forget
when he was playing.
Legitimately.
Let's not forget that this Minnesota Wild franchise, this is the third of 3 years where they have had a $15 million cap penalty too. Right? So the depth there after your stars go down is a lot less than a lot of other teams. Now for the Canucks, because they won last night.
I just wanted to say Kaprizov was scoring at 115 point pace.
That's crazy.
And with the Wild, this game is important because they're coming back. And I feel like if they had locked up, say, second in the division, these players just sit out to the playoffs.
Yeah.
But the reason they're coming back against the Sharks is tune-up game against the Sharks. Kaprizov and Eriksson get back their legs, and then Friday's the most important game of the year.
You need to,
So I feel like for them, tonight's a must-win, Friday's a must-win. Same with the Flames, who also play tonight and Friday. So I think we got really good race here in the West.
Now the Canucks made things interesting by scoring 3 goals in the last minute last night and then winning in overtime because, and this is from Rob the Hockey Guy, who is a Daily Hive reporter in Vancouver. Vancouver, if they want to make the playoffs, has to win all 4 games. And I think Calgary does too. They got to run the table, right? Yeah. Minnesota would have to lose all 4 games, and no more than one of those 4 games would be in one OTL. So you can't, they'd have to lose most of them.
So
in regulation.
Vancouver's out.
Yeah, Vancouver's
You're
out.
telling me there's a chance.
And then the third thing for
I'm
Vancouver
taking
to make
the over.
third thing Vancouver would need for them to make the playoffs is Calgary gets no more than 5 points in its final 5 games or 6 points, and it comes down to a tiebreaker. So not looking good for the Canucks, but there is a race.
Question for you, Adam.
Yes.
We're gonna sit here in a week's time, and Vancouver's gonna miss the playoffs. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
That was a whole bunch of stuff you said. They're gonna miss the playoffs. Is what you said.
It was a lot of stuff I said.
You said that they're gonna miss the playoffs. So if I told you May.
Oh my God.
You're sitting there on streaming the Canucks games. You did that. You did their series there against Nashville, and then you did the next one against the Oilers.
Yep.
They lose tight series to the Oilers. You know, if they're healthy, maybe they win that.
If Besser's playing, they might win.
They might beat the team who went to the Stanley Cup final.
Yep.
If I tell you there at the end of that series, next season, the Vancouver Canucks are going to miss the playoffs. What are you saying? You don't believe me.
Go back.
You don't believe me, right?
Go back and watch my preview. I thought they were winning the division again. They won the division last year. They won it.
Why? Yell at you. Why?
I think it's a real shocker that we're here right now where they're going to miss the playoffs.
Insane, dude. Yeah. It's insane. And I agree with you completely, Jesse. And this is the thing, though. I, now looking forward, believe less in their ability to rebound from this. Besser is unsigned. They don't want to. Maybe they figure that out, but he's unsigned right now. I'm respectfully.
Gone.
Miller is gone. Heedle's in his place, and Heedle's always had injury luck or bad luck with injuries, and he's injured again and is going to miss the rest of the year with what again? Concussion. Like Rangers fans know. Like I just. What's going to happen here in Vancouver?
They have more problems than we think.
And if they have to strip it back, they've already said, well, then they're going to have to look at what to do with Quinn Hughes if they have to strip it back. Is Pettersson going to rebound? Is that knee injury something? Is it a mental thing? Is it a knee injury? Is it like there's so many more questions this year?
15 goals, 45 points in 64 games.
Is that it?
Boo.
That's rough, dude.
Boo.
That's
rough.
yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
It's not great.
We're going to have to do some videos on.
He has fewer points than Kaprizov.
Who's played 37
games to Pettersson's 64, and they're gonna next season they're gonna make like similar salaries, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it sucks. It sucks.
No, the season after.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
whatever. You know what I mean.
And by the way,
they're both stars. It's just one of them plays like it.
The free agency class is not good this year. Outside of like the top players, like you got Ekblad, Marner, and stuff, and Gavrikov or whatever, but like none of those guys are a center that replaces JT Miller, even if the Canucks can get them. And there are going to be a lot of suitors for a lot of those guys, right? Like there's going to be, every team in the league is going to have cap this offseason. So it's going to be a frenzy come July 1st. And Jim Rutherford has pulled rabbits out of his hat many times before.
Who's this Phil Kessel?
Who's his Phil Kessel? And who's his coach?
Yeah.
Rick Tocchet. Like I said, they cannot exercise that option, and Tocchet can resign.
I mean, Manny Malhotra's doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Abbotsford Canucks.
Abbotsford.
Interesting. Yep. We'll see.
It's an option.
I've left this till the end purposely to bug Montreal Canadiens fans. And we're not totally at the end, but we do have to talk about this. Do you know that Montreal already has, and I can't play it, but Habs Fan TV posted this on, and I love those guys, this on their TikTok. There is a Demidov song based on the ABBA song. So they already have a Demidov song. So it's Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. A forward from Russia. He came from the Gulag, and now he plays on the wing. And it's
sing it?
No, I'm not going to sing it. Anyway, it's just Canadian fans.
Oh, my God.
I'm not going to sing it.
Why?
Because I stink at singing. But I will tell you this.
I paid to watch you sing in high school.
Demidov has officially ended his SKA contract, can play in Montreal this week, can play in the playoffs. The goodbye from the SKA St. Petersburg team was actually nice. Like they weren't hateful about it, which normally they are. They're usually, when Russian players leave Russia, they're like, yeah, we're scornful. We're going to send you to
SKA as well.
Yeah, normally SKA.
They did that with Igor Ozhiganov. They like scratched him
for the entire year. Now in 70 games in the regular season and playoffs, Demidov had 22 goals, 32 assists, and 54 points. And you have to remember, he's a teenager, and teenagers never get to play in the KHL, and he surpassed Kirill Kaprizov for the most points scored by an under-20 player in KHL history. This is a guy you get excited about. If you're the Caps, this is a guy that you're like, Not everybody comes over from the KHL is instantly great, but
No.
this guy might be. Probably will be.
Oh man, his highlights are so fun. They're so fun to watch. And yeah, it's worth mentioning that his coach, who is the same coach who I believe healthy scratched and got traded Matvei Michkov last year.
Yep.
I mean, it should say something that Demidov actually survived the season with that team. Broke a record, but his highlights, he's a left-handed right winger who can dish like crazy on his backhand, can shoot. The KHL is weird because they, in recent years, I don't remember how long ago it was, they are mostly NHL-sized rinks now, but not all of them are. So you'll see some of his highlights are on this giant rink where he's going to have angles that just don't exist in North America and other ones. It's not an apples to apples league because there's less talent, so it's harder to score that way, but the defenders are awful.
Right.
That's the KHL is full of guys who can, if you put them in the NHL, I think could rip it. But the defense is just friggin' awful. He's the player I kept trying to be like, here's what's different between this guy and that guy was Lane Hudson, because we're talking about the Habs. We're talking about a guy who has never played for or with or against professional hockey players in Lane Hudson. And then there's Ivan Demidov, who is younger and has played against them and with them for 3 years. So for that reason, the transition to the NHL might be easier for Demidov. What makes it difficult is he's basically going to get thrown right into the fire.
But so was Cole Caulfield.
Yeah.
And
he was unreal.
They went to the finals.
He was unreal. So maybe I should have picked Caulfield. But what I do think could help him is this bonehead coach in the KHL,
Roman
Rottenberg, who had him playing like 10 minutes a night. Do you throw Demidov right onto your top line?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why did you have him?
No, I think he adds depth to your lineup, and you put him in every offensive situation.
So you skew him like, so every offensive face-off, every play or every power play, you put him on it.
Some guys
Or
are
PB2.
stars where they play, and they play 22 minutes a night or whatever, 25 minutes a night, and then they come to the NHL and they're not doing that anymore, and it's hard for them. Demidov's not going to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
If anything, like worst case in air quotes, St. Louis like doubles his ice time from the KHL, and he's got to acclimate to that. That might be the difficult thing for him. And the NHL plays more games than the KHL, but it's what a boon for the Montreal Canadiens. One of the craziest trade deadline acquisitions, if you want to call it. Call it that. It often plays out that way. Like, these superstars are not available via trade in many years. This year's obviously a freak show. But Demidov joins a Montreal Canadiens team that's mediocre offensively, and he could make them real special.
Can be a problem for the Caps. Jesse.
Canadians in 5.
Whoa!
Montembeau's so hot.
What can I say?
Dude,
I'm on the
Man,
bandwagon.
he's so hot, he doesn't even have to be in the net.
I think that series is so much closer than people are
thinking. It is. No question.
Yeah.
No question.
I don't think it'll be close at all. 5 games done, Montreal.
Ooh, can you imagine after the season the Caps have had if they go out like that?
Yeah, Ovi was too much of a distraction.
Oh.
Yeah, write the story now. File it.
How Alexander Ovechkin torched the hopes of the Capitals. I can't wait for here's my column.
Well, it's funny because last show I was like, was it a distraction? And you guys were like, I don't really think it was a distraction. And then I think it was Dylan Strome went on, I think it was Chicklets, and he's like, oh yeah, it was an enormous distraction.
Yeah, no, but it didn't stop them from winning the East. What is he talking about?
No, I know, but I'm saying in recent, like the last couple weeks.
Yep.
Sure.
Oh, sure.
No,
Well,
okay.
why'd you say Montreal's going to win
Yeah,
then?
no. Then I'm on your team, Montreal. Montembeau Spring, Montem June,
Montembeau Spring.
Montem June to the Cup final. Let's go, Lane Hudson, 1,000,000 points every game.
All the
Done.
stop signs in Montreal now say Montembeau.
Exactly.
Harder to fit than Halak.
The Caps are Montembeau'd. You know what I'm saying?
Who do I think is gonna win the Conn Smythe? Is it Caulfield? Is it Hudson?
Why
Is
can't it be
Demidov.
Line? Why can't it be Line?
Line Conn Smythe. Yep.
No, Demidov, so he gets a $500,000 bonus.
No,
see that in his contract?
That's a cool bonus.
That's hilarious.
I think Suzuki, Conn Smythe, Montembeau Spring, Canadians in 5 first round. Let's go.
Okay, now I do have to. We've got 2 things left to do. We got Jesse trivia, but we also have some breaking news, and we have to hit this. Ray Shero has passed away. Ray Shero, senior advisor to the GM with the Minnesota Wild most recently, also with the Sens, the Preds, the Penguins, the Devils. He won the 2009 Stanley Cup with the Penguins. Wow. USA Hockey Team National Advisory Board, and a guest on Agent Provocateur last season. He was I really enjoyed the interview with him. That was the only interaction I personally ever had with Ray, but know that he was quite well liked around the league. And and so basically the statement says the Shero family asks for privacy during this difficult time. And obviously Ray's dad was a huge force in hockey as well. There's us last season. Yeah. So Ray Shero was... It seems like one of those where it's, again, too early, kind of like Greg Millen earlier.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, tough
Way
week
too
for
early.
hockey. So
Wow.
I think we did need to mention that. I hate having to mention deaths because I hate having it feels heavy, but you always have to, right? You got to talk about it. I don't know how else to expand on that.
They didn't say...
No, and they're not going to.
Okay. Yeah.
That's very sad.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Heart goes out to his family.
That's
terrible.
100%. Now, that puts me in an awkward position as a host because now I got to right turn this to Jesse's trivia.
No, can we do something that involves our favorite people?
Sure. Our favorite people?
Our favorite people on earth.
Who are our favorite people?
We got Cutter Gauthier.
Oh, I've had
got-
that. I just thought we were running out of time.
We got Cutter Gauthier. We got Evan Bouchard.
Okay, let's do it.
We got Kasperi Kapanen. Oh! I don't know if Steve, you're
Wait, is this Bouchard corner?
It's Bouchard corner.
It's Bouch corner.
But it's also Kasperi Kapanen, Cutter Gauthier, who Adam hates for some reason.
I don't hate Cutter Gauthier.
Yeah, you do. You said he sucks.
No, I said the Flyers made the dumbest trade in their history trading him.
Adam, literally
play
Danny
here?
Briere Wild.
I've been calling out the Flyers since they made that trade.
Oh yeah, you said he's the second coming of McDavid.
No, I didn't
forgot
say that
which side.
either. I just think he's
I forgot
pretty
which
damn
side
good.
of the scale
I just
you're
thought
on.
it was funny that Keith Jones and Danny Briere were like, "This guy sucks," and
All
turned
right.
an entire.
Let me
city
see the
against a
Jamie
teenager.
Drysdale jersey under your shirt.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
see that. No,
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyways, Adam loves or hates
no,
Cutter
I
Gauthier. I can't
love
remember.
Bouchard's defense. It's always my
Okay.
favorite.
So we have Bouchard Corner happening right now. On Monday, the Edmonton Oilers lost to the Anaheim Ducks. They lost 3-2. They don't really care about the points on the schedule right now. They just want to get to the postseason healthy. But that doesn't mean you should not play defense, which is something Evan Bouchard continually does throughout his entire NHL career.
Jesse, can I just say, by the still that is on the screen right now, I can tell he's getting beaten wide by a wide margin.
Yeah, so anybody listening right now, Cutter Gauthier has just entered the zone. He is near the blue line, just inside of the zone. He is facing Evan Bouchard, who is to his right, and Cutter Gauthier has the puck towards the boards on his outside stick of the outside of the stick there, and to his backside, just over to his right and behind him, is Kasperi Kapanen. What happens next is a disgrace to the game of hockey. Cutter Gauthier.
I need you to, at some point, I'm going to need you to take this off screen so I can see it in real time.
Oh yeah, I'll play it for you in real time after we do the stop motion one. So Cutter Gauthier decides, I'm just gonna go for a skate right around Evan Bouchard.
Yes. On account of it's a standing still pivot.
So he's coming down.
He's stationary.
He's coming down the wing. He says, "Oh, Evan Bouchard is right there. What am I gonna do? I'm going to literally walk around him with a little bit of speed. To be fair to Gauthier, he's a fast player. But as a defenseman in the NHL, you should do more than what Evan Bouchard does here, which is nothing. He barely gets turned
stationary.
around. He's beat By the time Cutter Gauthier takes 2 strides, Evan Bouchard is completely beat, and Gauthier goes straight to the net.
By the way, stops pushing on his skates. Goes, you know what? I'll just ride him in. He's got to stick right in his midsection.
And Evan Bouchard is so beat on this play. By the time Gauthier goes from the blue line to the face-off dot, he's basically making his way to the slot. Evan Bouchard, if he's a good defenseman, forces Gauthier all the way to the outside and like to the goal line so he can't just go directly at the goaltender. But Evan Bouchard is not very good at his job, so Gauthier can just go happily right to the front of the net and put a goal in the back of the net. And there he is. He scores a goal.
Now, to be fair to Evan Bouchard on this,
Yes.
Jesse.
Hockey is hard.
Hockey is hard, but also rewind it just a little bit to where you just were. Because you're absolutely beautiful breakdown.
Yeah.
But okay.
I have not done.
Oh, you're not.
We haven't gotten to our other special friend.
Oh, like on this play?
KK.
Okay, where is KK?
Kasperi Kapanen.
No, where is? Yeah.
He's number 42 on your screen here.
Yep.
Let's watch the amount of effort Kasperi Kapanen puts in on this play. And to be fair, he probably thinks his defenseman's going to do something here. But Kasperi...
like to me, it's not his guy, but it does look funny.
Not his guy at all. This is Evan Bouchard corner, but it looks hilarious, and he's an old friend.
Yes.
So I just want to acknowledge that Kasperi Kapanen is on the ice, but he might as well not be on the ice because he is simply pizza-ing like Steve's child Leo trying to learn how to skate.
Just Steve.
Or like Steve Dangle trying to learn how to skate. He's pizza-ing behind the play, just watching it all unfold with
a French
one
fried.
hand on the stick, and he's just there hanging out. And I think that was just a funny addition to the whole Evan Bouchard corner. Adam, go ahead.
I would also like to ask. So Bouchard, I believe that's Brett Kulak. Okay. That's normally his defense partner right now. Sure. So what is Brett Kulak covering that entire play? If you go back, go back to the blue. Go back to the blue line. What pass, Steve? There's nobody with them.
We can't see
we
that
can't.
off
Go back
screen,
to the blue
Adam.
line. Back to the blue line. Go back to the blue line. Back to the blue line.
We can't.
No, Steve. Cutter Gauthier came in. Well, like there's a Ducks
look,
player
there's a
there.
guy right there.
No, but
that's
when
fair.
Gauthier cuts, watch. Then take it back to where Gauthier cuts in on Bouchard. Okay, around the. Keep going. There is no duck there. Go to the net.
Yeah, but he knows like a guy's kind of.
Kulak is at the edge of the screen.
Yeah. I must
challenge him. You got to challenge him. You've got Evan Bouchard as your defense teammate. You gotta play defense too.
I don't think you head into every situation going, my D partner's going to suck here.
Why?
Well, I mean, you should. It's
Why
Evan
wouldn't
Bouchard.
you?
Dude, he's shocking.
He is.
He's. I know it feels like we're picking on him. There's no defenseman in the league like this player. Could put up 60, 70, 80 points any given season and be beyond useless in his own end. He's big for nothing. Look at that stick he's got on him. Gauthier's never going to be the same. He cracked his pelvis in half.
I just want to remind Philly fans, Briere and and Jones specifically, this kid's got 17 goals and 40 points in 77 games with a team that cannot fucking score. This team cannot score, and he's one of the leading scorers. He's like top 5 or 6 in rookie scoring. They traded this guy because he said to them once, I don't think I want to play here. And they instantly made a bad trade and then tried to sell it to the public, and Flyers fans fell for it for a second. And here we are a season later. Torts, after saying, I don't give a shit about Cutter Gauthier, gone. Their goaltending stinks. The Ducks look a hell of a lot better than the Flyers do right now. I think next season, the Ducks are in the late 80s in points, fighting for a playoff spot.
Interesting.
Don't sleep on the Ducks.
This is what I think
they need a
talk
coaching
about
change.
at the top of the segment about your love for hating on the Flyers because to pump up Cutter
Because it was a bad trade, and they were like, "Look at this teenager! Isn't he a piece of shit?"
I knew we'd
and
get
all
here.
of Philadelphia's like, "I could get on board for that."
I knew we'd get here eventually.
Jesse, I need you to.
You made a bad trade. You made a bad trade, and you sewered a teenager. Well done, boys. Cool. Looks good. And listen, the Flyers could be good next year. But, come on. What are we talking about? Day one.
I don't think they're going to be.
Day one. That was a bad move. No offense to Drysdale. It's not his fault. He's okay.
Until Jamie Drysdale learns the butterfly.
Yeah, the
think
Flyers
the
can't be good.
Flyers are in
Yeah,
trouble.
you're right. Yeah, the Flyers
Jesse,
and goaltending.
There's no one's listening.
Okay.
There's no one else in the room.
Okay.
Can I please watch that play?
In real time? Yeah. While you watch this, I think you made a really good point in that this isn't. We're not picking on Evan Bouchard. The fun thing of this is the dichotomy of it all. He's one of the best offensive defensemen we have, and yet he's 0 on defense.
0.
That's why
A net
we
0.
have Evan Bouchard corner. Here, Steve's watching.
You are awful. You're awful. You're awful. I don't know if this guy's an ECHL defender. He's awful. Yeah, Maddie's like, can he skate backwards?
Yes.
I'm not
Matty,
convinced
he's a
he
great
can.
skater. He's a great skater.
Yeah, when he has the puck.
Yeah, forward.
Yeah.
Oh, when he has the puck, I'm sure he can do a lot of
Oh
dipsy
my
doodles.
God, you're
but-
awful.
Yeah.
You're just awful. And then you watch him go in the offensive zone,
Yep.
and he's Thor.
You're like, oh, there's
he's-
there's next Cale Makar.
Yes, he's absolutely unbelievable. Like, and he doesn't even have the decency to look like he feels bad about it after, too. He's just out there for a friggin' skate. Every public skate in the greater Toronto area has a 9-year-old ripping crossovers faster than that. Jesus.
Yeah, the 2 strides he takes back right there, and then it's just I'm gonna glide into it. It's really bad.
Are his skates too big? Like, what's going on? Oh my God, he's awful.
All right, boys.
He's just awful.
In honor of Jesse Blake and his birthday,
Okay.
I've got your boards here. This is not exactly clean yet, but Jesse, I stole yours from over there.
Oh, you took it
is-
already?
This
Okay.
is yours. Okay, so this has caught coffee on it, Jess, but oh well.
Oh, here.
Oh my gosh.
I should have
Yeah.
just given it to you.
It's okay. Now, these are 10
Got
questions.
paper towel.
10 questions for Jesse and for Steve, and also Jesse's partner Gabby answered these. It's the Newlywed Game.
Amazing. How did you get her roped into this?
Well, I text her. We're buddies, you know.
What? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
How do you even think to text her?
That's insane.
Oh
I know.
my God.
Now, I want to know how many people at home can get some of these answers right. So I'm gonna give
That's fun. Yeah.
because Jesse, whatever answer Jesse gives is the correct answer.
Sure.
Because it's about Jesse,
Okay.
right? It's how well do Gabby and Steve know Jesse?
Got it.
All right.
This
What's
is the
first
key.
question?
First question: celebrity crush.
Oh my God. I don't have one.
Apparently, you do.
A celebrity crush. Oh, I know.
I'm not totally sure how to spell this, but
You should know how to spell it.
I know who my celebrity crush. I know what.
You have it?
yeah.
Okay, go, Steve.
Lana Del Rey.
He did go to a Lana Del Rey concert and sway a bunch,
Oh yeah, fantastic show.
but Jesse.
I put down John Hamm.
John Hamm. Hilarious, because I think the correct answer is the one Gabby put down. And tell me if I'm wrong, gentlemen. William Nylander.
So it was gonna be one or the other.
Yeah, so
It was gonna be one or the
so
other.
I feel like
Damn.
John Hamm's a good one though. John
Yeah,
Hamm's a
no,
good one.
I love John Hamm.
In an alternate reality, Jesse is a crocodile hunter or whoever the hell that guy is she married, and you are together. You and Lana Del Rey.
Number 2. What is Jesse's go-to karaoke song? Oh. Now she did give 2 answers for this.
Yeah, but she knows which one it should be.
Oh, okay.
How dare she not get this one?
She didn't tell me which one it should be.
We do a lot of karaoke, like if
Which
we
is
have-
surprising.
If we have people over, I hook up the karaoke to the TV, and it's an awesome way to get people going.
So you have a karaoke
Yeah.
thing in your house?
We got to no. It's like I do it. I like Jimmy rig it through like a soundboard.
That does
sort of
not
stuff.
surprise me at all that
Yeah,
you can
I know.
audio rig that.
It's not
The
a
guy who
machine.
put the entire studio together has an audio rig
Steve,
at home. What a surprise.
what's your answer? This is an easy one for me. She should get this. We're 0 for 1 right now.
I just imagine Jesse really. I think it's not a party song. It's very emotional.
Yeah, there is one that is,
Yeah.
and there is one that isn't.
I'm gonna go with that Rihanna song "Stay" because I could just imagine Jesse singing it.
That's like a 5-minute song. Can you imagine Jesse taking up 5 minutes?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
hey, it's a tall order, but if anyone can handle it, it's this gentleman.
All right, Jesse, Give us your answer.
The answer is Shallow.
And
By
Shallow.
Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
Shallow is the one that Gabby put. She also wrote, "I write sins, not tragedies" from Fall Out Boy.
That
Apparently
is that is correct, but I thought she'd go with the one we do together.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys
we
sing
do this
Shallow
one together all the time.
Okay.
Movie banger, song banger, Stars Born, love it.
Okay, great. Now, these ones are going to be real easy.
Okay.
It's like super easy. So number 3 is long or short showers for Jesse. One or the other.
Is medium an answer?
Long or short
I
showers?
don't feel like my showers
Long or
are
short?
that long.
Long or short showers, Jesse?
I have my answer.
What is she? Okay.
You have to answer it your way, right? You do.
I don't know what the gauge is for people who think like what's long and what's short.
No.
I don't want to change my answer.
No, because you're basing it on his reaction. You have to, Jesse.
This
what do
is
you
fascinating.
think? It's what do you think, and Jesse, what do you think about yourself? Sometimes self-perception is different than what our partners think of us or know about us, which is what makes
Yeah,
this fun.
that's what I'm interested in. Like, does she think my showers are long or short?
Okay, what are you
Okay,
gonna put?
so Steve, go.
I put short.
Okay,
Okay, I put short as well.
Gabby put short.
Okay,
Hey!
okay.
All right.
I was like, okay, no, that's good. So Gabby's 2 for 3. Steve is 1 for 3.
Right now,
Jesse doesn't have time for nonsense.
yeah, that's what I thought
He
too.
just gets in there, no nonsense, and he finishes.
So that makes yes, good.
So,
Good. No nonsense.
so for number 4, same thing, long or short. In this case, poops. Long or short poops. Now, Steve is a long pooper. He plays the long game.
Damn straight.
If he's tweeting, likely he's on the John. But is Jesse time for nonsense when it comes to the bathroom? Jesse's also not a dad yet.
I don't
and
need to hide from my children.
And as a dad, it is the place where no one disturbs you.
I've heard that a lot about dads. You pick up stories from the dads in your life, and they're like, the bathroom is the one sanctuary I have because nobody bothers me.
I'm overstimulated and I need 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's also the only door in the house with a freaking lock on it. Long or short poops? Steve, what's your answer?
I think Jesse poops like he's changing between acts. I'm going to go with short.
Brittany's
Short.
Short.
Gabby says long.
Wow.
She says you're a long
They're
pooper.
long. I think they're pretty quick.
You think they're quick? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
so Steve's now 2 for 4, and Gabby is 2 for 4.
No, I said short. I think I'm still 1.
you said short.
Oh, I said short. Though.
Yeah, so you
So
meant
you got
short.
that
It's about
right.
what Jesse
It's
says.
not what Gabby says.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, but I look at it, I trust her more than you.
But
Okay.
that might be true, but that's not the game.
That's not the game.
So you're doing
Not the
better than
game.
you think.
Yeah. You guys are both
okay.
2 for 4.
Number 5, least favorite food.
I don't know this.
Well, Jesse, if that's your answer, you must go with it. Like, this
No,
is the
no,
thing.
I
That's how the Newlywed Game works.
I can think of this. What's my least favorite food?
Shoot. I feel like I do know the answer to this.
I feel like she would remember this better than I would.
This isn't really a food
Okay.
that I wrote down.
Well, okay, but like it's something that you consume, right?
It's an ingredient.
Fair enough.
All right. You got it.
I don't have an answer yet.
Okay,
trying to
take your
think.
time.
I win by D.
This is, by the way, this is going way better than I even thought it would. This is fun.
Okay.
Can you give me a second?
I got Lana Del Rey right. He's a liar.
That's not true.
He's a liar.
No, it's John Hamm or Willie.
Liar.
We played John Hamm commercials here in Canada because they Skip the Dishes is just Canadian, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know if Americans know that John Hamm just plays on our TV all the time, especially during sporting
Do
events.
you remember his Apple commercial? It's like where you get to see every celebrity in the world except John Hamm. Because he didn't have now he's got a show on Apple.
He didn't have
but-
an Apple TV show.
That
It
was
was
funny.
so funny.
Yeah. That was a really good campaign. I loved that campaign.
I don't know. I'm gonna just put rice.
You like rice.
I do like rice.
Okay.
You eat
But
rice like every day.
I can't.
So,
I
Jesse,
do,
go with that, is what I'm saying.
what? I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't have one. I don't have a least favorite food.
Because Gabby says.
I'm gonna write. I don't.
Let's see
have
what you
one.
put. Let's see what you put.
Are you? I feel like one of you. Are you guys one of those guys who think cilantro tastes like soap?
That's
That's
me.
Adam.
I hate
damn it.
cilantro.
I wrote. I don't have one.
And Gabby wrote, he'll eat anything.
Damn! That's why it fucking puzzled me.
Darn.
That's a tough one.
That's a wow. Good for her.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Holy-
She knows you, man. She knows you.
Damn.
That's one of those ones like, well, that is a relationship.
So your cilantro
like-
tastes like soap guy.
yeah.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? I don't
hate
have a
cilantro.
least favorite food.
Now,
Gabby's so picky.
really?
Yeah.
What
with
won't
her
she
food.
eat? Like Natalie won't eat cheese, for instance. Will not eat it.
She won't
is afraid
eat
of it.
like if something it doesn't look appetizing, even if something she likes.
So what if it's like old lettuce?
Oh my gosh, she'd never eat old lettuce. She doesn't eat like warm. Like if there's a burger and you like rewarm it up, she got to take out all the toppings and everything. But like if she likes chicken, if the chicken doesn't look appetizing, she wouldn't eat it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's her prerogative. She's an adult now. She can do what she wants.
Like, do you have to, when you cook, like, do you have to, like, really zhuzh stuff up?
Because I know she likes the presentation of food. Since we started dating, I like try and make things look pretty.
So your plating is
when
fun.
I plate stuff. So I've learned how to plate things.
There you go.
I know she cares about that
Like,
stuff.
put the French fries into a smile?
No, she's not 5. What are you talking?
Number 6. What does Jesse wear to bed? Is it PJs? Is it boxers? Is he new? What does Jesse wear to bed?
This is easy.
Okay, what do you think, Steve?
I think Jesse wears silk pajamas and one of those long hats like Ebenezer Scrooge.
The sleep hats. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. To keep the evil spirits out or whatever
Yes.
they said those are for.
The new prisons, the new workhouses. That's Jesse Blake.
Jesse
I have
says.
boxers.
And by the way, Gabby says, I don't know if he'll like this, but boxers.
Yeah.
Damn.
Just boxers.
I don't know why she said that, but she never.
Because I think she wouldn't know if I'd like you exposing what I'm wearing to bed on this show.
Interestingly enough, not what it's about.
this isn't broadcast to just the three of us.
Yeah, that's true.
Funny
Okay.
how that is. So let me just write. So Gabby's 4 of 7.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, you're 2 of 7.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. These are tough questions.
All right, this next one's hard. Jesse, who's your hottest first degree relative?
The first question he was ever asked on this show. We're not kidding. Like, we actually had a press
Yeah, they
conference
asked
for
me
Jesse.
that.
And Jesse did not enjoy it.
Yeah, they asked me that.
I thought that was a funny question.
Yeah.
Okay, number 7.
Oh, I thought that was 7.
Oh, that was 6.
That was
Sorry.
6. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
my bad.
So this is 7. Jesse, as you may recall, at one point used to DJ parties.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
What was Jesse's DJ name?
Oh. Man.
I've DJ'd 2. Well, no, I should say I DJ'd 1 wedding and like 2 birthdays. So that's it. Not a whole lot on the resume there.
Okay. I got it. DJ Waffles.
That's my dog, Waffle.
Yeah.
I wrote down I didn't have one
And Gabby said, I have no idea.
because I didn't have one.
Because you didn't have one. Okay.
Yeah, I think
all
that's
right.
a correct answer because
I
didn't
should
have
get an automatic point for that nonsense. That's poo. That is garbage.
I don't have a DJ.
Well,
name,
you got to
so.
think about it. It's Jesse's. Jesse would be the type of guy not to come up with one because he's like,
you're
why
so
would I do?
right.
You know
Yeah,
what
why
I mean?
would I have a DJ
right.
name? I'm
See?
not like a real DJ.
That would be. That's how you got to look at it, right?
I'm giving her that point.
Number
D stands
5
for
of 7.
don't have time for that nonsense.
number 8.
Exactly.
Number 8. Jesse's most prized possession.
What? My most prized possession. Oh. I wonder if she's gonna say.
See, it's tough because Steve has many prized possessions. You're the one like. My prized possession would be like not having anything.
My empty room.
Adam's garbage can.
I prefer not
garbage
to own
can.
stuff where possible. Okay, Steve, what do you think for Jesse?
I wonder if she's gonna say that.
I'm going off the board here. Couch.
Oh, all right. Like JD Vance type of couch?
what
or-
did-
Oh, whoa. No, I think Jesse does the sleeping of the ZZZ variety, not
Oh.
the other kind.
What did Gabby say?
Gabby said waffles.
Oh my God! I was gonna write that, but I didn't think that counted.
Okay, it does count.
Dogs are people.
You own
So,
dogs.
That's wrong.
So that does
Can I
count.
switch my answer?
Well, if it really is the answer, but if I mean,
I thought
what's
she
the
was
other
gonna
thing?
say this fitness band I wear because I wear it all the time.
Oh,
and
your
I thought she was gonna say that my whoop that I wear all the time.
Oh.
I thought she was gonna say that.
Yeah.
yeah, because she makes fun of me for it.
Why does she make fun of you
support
for
your
it?
Because I'm always wearing it.
Because you're fit fam?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that,
two more.
That one's wrong.
Two more.
So what was that? 8 or
That
7?
that was 8.
All right. So Steve, you're 2 of 8. Gabby's 5 of 8.
Okay. Now, Jesse's favorite non-sports television show. I was not sure. I'm not sure Gabby got this right because I would have put a different answer than she did. But I'm waiting to see what Jesse's answer is on this one.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer.
It changes.
Oh, shit.
I can't pick what I think she's gonna say.
No,
It
you
has
got to
to
pick
be-
what you would say.
it
You
has
need
to be
to
my
tell me
honest answer.
if I'm wrong that I was at least right at one point.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
So
too.
give me a second to think about this.
No, take
'cause,
your time.
Yeah, recently it's probably one thing that she's gonna say, but it's the all time, right? So I have to go with this show just because I think this show would mean the most to my life, and it spent the most time as my favorite show. But there's other contenders, so I'm gonna write down this. Steve, what do you say?
I say BoJack Horseman.
At one point
Damn it!
that was my favorite show, but I can't say for all time. It's this.
You put yours.
Go ahead. What is it?
Gabby gave 2 answers,
Okay.
and I'll tell you what my answer would have been. Based on
Okay.
your childhood bedroom, I would have said Family Guy
Oh,
or Simpsons. Now,
Yeah.
Gabby said Sopranos or Succession.
see, that's a recent answer. Like
Right.
Sopranos is up there, 100%.
As it should be.
Yeah, it's probably 3 on the list, but I went with Simpsons
Okay.
because of the that's been
The
my favorite
longevity.
show since it's a kid, and I can still.
And I would have said Family Guy over Simpsons, but I think in retrospect, I should have said Simpsons.
See, I know you really like The Simpsons, but I swear at one point you said BoJack is my favorite
Oh,
show.
you probably did.
yeah, at that moment because I was
Yeah.
watching it.
But I don't think you were far off on that.
yeah.
No, but I wanted to be.
And
right.
I've watched all of BoJack more recently than I turn on The Simpsons. I don't turn on The Simpsons a lot these days, but it's still I think number one all time.
Last one.
So both of you guys got that one wrong.
Last one. Okay. I'm so curious to see how people at home do on this. honestly. People how well do you know Jesse Blake?
That's fine.
Now, number 10 is
Is it that was 9?
that was 9.
Oh, I'm getting these fucking numbers wrong. All right.
That's all right. I'm glad I'm not keeping score because you know how bad at it I am. I love Jesse just jumps in. He's like, I'll keep score. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Number 10 is, does Jesse have a tattoo? And if so, what is it and where would it be located? Maddie knows this one. Gabby got it right, too.
Gabby told you.
All right. Steve, put your answer out there.
Yes, pizza, mouth.
Pizza lip. Yes.
Pizza
correct.
lip, and Gabby got it as well. Now, Jesse,
Yeah.
can you show us what remains of that tattoo?
Let me just say 6 and 3 before I guess. Steve, you got 3 out of 10.
Pretty good.
Gabby got 6 out of 10. That's
Pretty
not
good.
bad.
Not bad at
Some
all.
of those questions were they could go either way, and they're kind of iffy. I don't know if you see this. Here.
Is it
Can you see it?
still
There it is.
there, yeah.
It's still there. Oh, a little higher, Jesse. A little higher. Go a little higher. There you go. A little higher. A little higher.
Higher, above the mic. There you go.
Yeah. So it
Hot.
was a pizza slice on the inside of your mouth. I can remember you got that when we were working at Kiss.
Yeah,
Why did you get a pizza slice on the inside of your
Oh,
mouth?
it's just fucking something fun to do when you're 22.
Did that hurt absolute holy shit?
It's supposed to hurt more than it did. I think she just did a fantastic job, and it was not that painful.
It hasn't
Really
faded that
quick.
much.
And yeah, the ink's supposed to die after they said 6 years. It's not a permanent tattoo because of where it is in your mouth, but
Right.
it's been lasting. It's still pretty there. Everybody looked
Can't
at
imagine
it. Still see
tattooing
it.
the inside of your mouth.
Yeah, it's the awkward part is just holding your mouth open for that long.
Because it's deep
But-
in there.
Yeah, it's it's deep on the inside of my mouth, but
I-
they did a great job.
I didn't understand until I got one.
Mm.
People are like, "Oh, that hurts, right?" And then it started, and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, that's terrible. I don't enjoy that at all." And then
Yeah.
the closer they got to my armpit, I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, there's brief moments, but mine's so simple. It's not like
yeah.
yours where there's so much into that and you need all these needles and everything. Mine was real quick, and because it was so simple, it didn't hurt that much, just a little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is Jesse
That was fun,
and
Adam.
Steve birthday newlywed game. Woo! Yay! And there's some stuff that I didn't get to in the show that I am gonna put on to VIP because what the hell? We're recording that next. It'll be out Friday, and we hope that you enjoy the rest of your week. Leafs in Tampa tonight. I'm gonna be streaming that, and then remember, Shoeless Joe's live this weekend, Saturday, April 12th, in Peterborough. Peterborough. That's how they spell it.
I don't think they do.
PTBO.
That's how they spell it in Oshawa.
What?
PP Borough.
Oh, True. Very
Not
true.
that.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.